exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Get ready. This week, Staples has deals so good, you're going to want to sit down. Are you sitting? I'll wait. Great. Right now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs. That's up to $180 off desk chairs, up to $180 off computer chairs, and up to $180 off gaming chairs. So hurry into Staples now for the Staples Sit-a-thon and grab a seat or two. Ends 3/2. In-store only. See associate for details.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. We are here, Stiles and Watkins, taking you up to 2 p.m. And we got to talk about a Kings loss, even though we don't want to here on a Wednesday. And they are headed up to Denver tonight, or they're already in Denver for a Valentine's Day game. And maybe the hearts will be in their favor because they weren't last night. They lost to the Suns, 130-125. Chris, would you consider that a blown game situation? Nothing like the last time they were in Club Phoenix, but they did have control until what was it, late in the third, right?
Yeah.
Early fourth.
Yeah, I mean, they stopped hitting shots in that third quarter. I think they ended up shooting like under 40% from the field in that third quarter, and then about halfway through the fourth, they kind of started to get going. They had that 10-0 run, and then, you know, I said it on the post game yesterday, but the problem becomes it's a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot like the situation the Niners just got in that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where that game comes down to Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands with the clock winding down. The Kings really lost that game when it was a back and forth battle and you're going against Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. Like, those are the two best shot makers, especially just tough shots in general. Like, you saw that shot Book hit, that last one where he takes the step over, just splashes it from mid-range. That's what those dudes do, and it's a really tough task to try and go bucket for bucket with KD and Devin Booker on the other side. And so, you know, it's unfortunate the Kings couldn't get a little bit of a cushion heading into that, but you know, that's a playoff team right there, 1,000%. And, you know, the Kings, I choose to say that I think overall that's a positive performance for this team. It was a really well contested game, and the Kings were up to the task. Like, it's not like they got blown out. They were playing playoff basketball too. They didn't get the result, but I think, especially heading down towards the All-Star break, I think it's good that this team is playing good basketball, especially ever since we didn't get a chance to talk about that Detroit game. I'm glad we didn't, because it right now is really a really crucial time for this team to be coming together, and it'd be nice to get the results, but I'll take the positive of these guys looked really competitive last night.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about, obviously, Denver tonight. I'm sure Denver's licking their chops after the Kings beat Denver not too long ago. We'll discuss LeBron, what could have been LeBron in the Bay. I mean, if Sacramento Kings fans can't stand the Warriors now, can you imagine?
La Bay?
Stop that. If LeBron went to the La Bay to team up with Steph, but luckily that didn't happen for all of our sakes. And we'll talk about a metric that I've never heard of in my life. There is a luck metric, and it was essentially created by a dude that was born and raised in Oakland, then went to Columbia, and a couple Niners media members have gotten a hold of these metrics, and we'll just read them off. Because the Chiefs are at a certain position when it comes to the quote-unquote luck data, and the Niners are. And we'll discuss that and ask whether it makes you feel better or not. Also, 12:30, we have the Kings Roundtable with Brendan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli, as we also will have another opportunity for you to win Daniel Tosh tickets thanks to Live Nation. That is at 1 p.m. Maybe we'll have Brendan or Frankie pick the number caller. Frankie will probably pick 2 for Derek Jeter or something like that, as we continue to break down what went wrong in Club Phoenix. And Chris, what you're saying isn't wrong as far as the Kings and how well they played. I think that's what is the most unfortunate part of this, that they aren't playing poorly, right?
Right.
It just might not be good enough this season.
Sure. Right.
I think that's just where we're at right now.
No, you're right.
They just don't have the horses to put teams away as they could have last night with the Suns, or the last time they played the Suns. The last time felt more fluky, but they did not put it away. Or towards the end of the game, when you get into a shootout with the team, and you got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant on one end, and you have De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk on the other, and in that point of the game, Sabonis isn't doing the same things that he was doing, and that's just what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna go there. And I know if you look at the full-on free throws, they shot 75%, which isn't bad. But one of our callers had called in and said, I think he was a high school coach or something. It's not about how many you make. It's about when you make them. Yep. And when they got that flagrant on De'Aaron and he clanks both free throws, I can't help. No one can help that.
No,
nobody.
You have to hit those shots. I mean, that's an opportunity. It was 2 shots and the ball. And I believe they were down 5 at that point, or they might have been down 8 at that point. That was a real opportunity to get back into it. And they eventually did after that stretch, thankfully for De'Aaron. But again, those 2 points could have really changed how the end of that game goes. And we've talked about it before, man. It's the Achilles heel of this team completely. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the entire NBA. And I looked it up today. It's not even just, I've been talking about how, it's tough because, De'Aaron and Domas are your 2 highest volume free throw shooters, and they're not good free throw shooters. So that's kind of bringing down the rest of the team. I looked it up earlier today. Their bench is shooting 75% from the free throw line. So it's really not just those 2 guys, even though De'Aaron was the one who missed it yesterday. It's everybody. We've seen Malik Monk miss a couple free throws in some important situations. Honestly, a big problem is, too, they don't really have many guys in general who get to the line. I would love to see Davion Mitchell start to try and use his speed, his craftiness to get to the line more. Trey Lyles wasn't able to go last night, but Trey Lyles isn't somebody who gets to the line really at all. They need some help. I think that's really obviously the biggest takeaway from yesterday is you have Fox and Sabonis putting up 70 points combined. You have Malik Monk putting up 22 points off the bench, and you can't get a win.
Yeah,
that's bad. And, I don't think that has to do with other guys offensively not contributing. Of course, if you outscore the other team, that's great. But they got to get some stops at some point. They have to be able to slow down Grayson Allen. They have to be able to slow down Eric Gordon. Of course, KD and Book are going to be able to get whatever they want. That shouldn't be the problem. When Bradley Beal exits the game in the first quarter,
5 minutes he played.
That should tell you, if we can stop Grayson Allen from doing what he's done to this team, it feels like every single time they play, we have a really good shot at winning. If you don't allow Grayson Allen to score, I feel like he scored over 20, and Eric Gordon felt like he had 17 or 18. Like, if you can prevent those guys from having a night, I mean, you win the game. It's really that simple. And it felt like
one of them. Stop
giving
one of
up
them.
Way too many threes last
Stop
night.
one of them.
Just disgusting.
Grayson Allen was 2 for 5 from 3. He had 19 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric Gordon had 23 points.
Wow.
4 for 9 from 3.
Yeah.
And they were both, Grayson was 3 for 3 from free throw, and Eric Gordon was 3 for 3 from free throw, right? Those are the guys that kept, basically you weren't missing Beal.
Yeah.
Because
pretty
Beal,
much. Exactly.
One of them just carried, one of them protected losing Beal, and the other one was just found money.
Yep.
Just found money.
You can't have that.
No, and you weren't able to get stops. And look, he played 30 minutes. He only had 9 points. Would have been, a couple of second round picks. Royce O'Neal sure did look like he helped a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure did look like he helped a little bit. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Who's getting 5 assists on this Kings team besides Malik Monk, sometimes De'Aaron and Sabonis?
Right.
You're not getting that off the bench anywhere. You're just not. So, this team is capped. We know who this team is. We'll talk a little bit about it, play in or play off. To me, it doesn't matter, because to me, it's going to end the same way. All right. And I'm looking at these play-in teams because they are officially in the play-in as of right now, right?
Sure.
They're the 8th seed, and it's not going to get any easier for them. We talked about it yesterday. 5th toughest remaining schedule. Where do you find what you are missing? Is it the buyout market? We have the list. We have Brandon Nunez who posted and tweeted out the list. So we'll discuss the list there. Where do you find what you're missing? And I want to talk about this, Chris. I want to talk about the Kevin Huerter, Mike Brown exchange. But before we talk about that, I want to get into, I just can't do this. It's very similar, and I'm pointing to Nate just because it's the Niners. It's very similar to the overtime thing. I don't really care about missing the free throw, Devin Booker missing the free throw, and Sabonis has got, I don't care that he has a triple-double. You got to get that rebound. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying you never should have been in that situation. Mm-hmm. And the chances of you getting that rebound, making a three, I mean, yeah, you don't have a chance if you don't get the rebound.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and talk about Sabonis of all people because you would have got blown out without him. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, absolutely. I think it'd be impossible to blame Sabonis. And again, I definitely agree that I think the Kings did themselves a disservice by putting themselves behind the way that they did, because they played that first half had shades of the Clipper game from last year where, I mean, it felt like it was just going to be 150 to 150 at the end of half. I think both teams had over 60 and one team was pushing 70. They were playing great, but it's really the story of what we've talked about all season. They stopped hitting shots, and then everything went to crap after. And it's like, you can't have that. You cannot have your game completely dictated on making or missing jumpers, because that's going to happen. You're going to miss shots at points in the season and in playoff games. You've got to be able to defend. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing with this team. And, I think they played well enough to win yesterday. I just think you have to, offensively, you just have to play defense at some point if you want to win these kind of games. You cannot continue, and I thought they learned this lesson last year, but you can't just think you're going to outscore everybody, especially not in this year's Western Conference where everybody is so full of talent. They can put up 130. Any team in the West pretty much can put up 130 points. So until they find out how to play along on the same string for 48 minutes defensively, I think that they're going to continue to flounder like they have in 2024. They're 500 since the turn of the new year, and it's felt like it. And again, their offense has been great. It feels like Kevin Herter's hitting shots. HB's had some moments, but and Malik is playing really, really well right now. But again, it just doesn't feel like they're not getting the results, and it's disappointing because they're starting to play better.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, continue the conversation. What went wrong in Phoenix and the back and forth between Kevin Herter and Mike Brown? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings visit the defending champion Denver Nuggets tonight on Sactown Sports.
And again, Fox pokes it away. Grabbed by Sabonis. Throws it ahead. Fox runs under it. Goes for the two-hand flush.
Catch the Kings and the Champs tonight at 6 on your home for Kings basketball, Sactown Sports.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
130 to 125. The Kings are bested by the Phoenix Suns. You know, I was really confused about my feelings on Malik yesterday, Chris, because Malik has been playing really well, but there are times at the end of the game where he makes some bonehead decisions.
Sure.
And you can't you cannot have your main ball handlers turn the ball over in total 11 times. And It happened towards the end of the game. De'Aaron Fox had 6 turnovers. Malik Monk had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know at this point, as much as we talk about, oh my goodness, get Malik Monk into the starting lineup, I don't know that Malik Monk is a starting player on a championship team.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think, I feel like he could close out there. I think the problem is the Kings, they just need another ball handler. I mean, I feel like I've been talking about it for like 2.5 years now. Davion's he played good yesterday. He didn't play great. His minutes were solid, but in terms of his offensive role, he doesn't orchestrate the offense, and they don't trust him to create offense for himself or for others. And it's kind of the situation that the Kings found themselves in the playoffs last year, where you find down the stretch, it's De'Aaron and Malik are the only 2 players that you trust with the ball in their hands. And Sabonis can run his dribble handoff with Malik, but for the most part, it's on those 2 guys to create shots for themselves or others. And, it's a bit flawed. Malik is somebody who you got to live with the bad to get the good. And, he's got some elements of JaVale McGee in him where he'll make some bonehead mistakes where, he'll underhand throw, like just bowling pass a ball straight out of bounds. And it's like, now is not the time for flair.
How many times are you going to get caught under the basket with nowhere to go and 3 trees are staring at you and you turn the ball over?
Yeah.
How many times is it going to happen?
Yeah. No,
I love Malik. He's probably my favorite player on the Kings, but I don't know if, I think you're right. I don't know if it's that he can't be a starter on a championship team or if it's that because of the lack of playmaking on the team, he feels like he has to do too much.
Yeah, you can't rely on him that much.
Right?
It's in a weird way, it's almost not Malik's fault. It's the fault of it's the fault of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think, in an ideal world, De'Aaron probably has the ball in his hands most of the time. And then if you could get, I mean, just pie in the sky, if you can get a guy like Paul George out there, he would ideally be the second guy that has the ball in his hands, and Malik can be the third option, or a guy who stands in the corner, or, you give him a grenade with 5 seconds left and say, hey, we really need a bucket, but we also are just going to need somebody who can hit tough shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's better for Malik instead of really asking him to be a point guard. And, he can, we've seen it all year. He can serve as the point guard, but to your point, like, I don't know if you want, I mean, he played 33 minutes last night. I think that's probably asking a bit too much for Malik. He's been a guy there's a reason why that bench role serves him off really well. It's because he's good in spurts, but you get too much of him, and sometimes you start to see some of the blemishes of why he's not able to be a starter or a high level, guy who's going to be making 25, 30 million.
It's a really, really confusing situation, because could you start Malik on this team and say that the Kings would probably be a little bit better? You could argue yes, you could argue no, because we know that the bench would lose some things. But ultimately, again, here we go with the same conversation about getting to that second round. You start Malik. Do you win a playoff series now that you started Malik? I guess to me, whether you start him or not, I'm just looking forward maybe too much, because whether you start him or not, it doesn't really change the end for me.
No, yeah.
I think it all ends the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit more exciting. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But I think Malik best serves this team, and probably any team he goes to besides a team that isn't going to be in the playoff mix at all, as a sixth man. Because think about it like this. We're thinking 33 minutes, and it's maybe too much of Malik. And the Kings are in the 8th seed, right? So think about if he was on the Celtics or the Sixers or anybody like that, they wouldn't have him start.
Probably not, no.
So he can still get the bag. And it's not Malik's fault. It's not Malik's fault that they lost last night. I just know that we take so many calls, get Malik in there. And I understand, to be honest, I understand why maybe Coach Mike Brown didn't want him to start prior to the deadline. You might need a revisit only because there's nobody else showing up.
Yeah.
There's nobody else showing up. I mean, HB, that stretch is over. He's back to only taking under 10 shots. I don't know what that was, right? And I can't wait for a home game so we can get in there and ask some questions to try to figure out what is going on. Let's hear from Coach Mike Brown. We have people in the SAC chat. Shout out to the SAC chat. Shout out to the text line, the call line, Folsom Lake Honda hotline. We have people talking about the refs, and we don't normally complain about the refs here on this show.
Yeah.
But when your coach has something to say about the refs, we listen.
We're down 3 with 24 seconds left, and Domas rolls to the rim, and he shot fakes, and Devin Booker lands on his back with 2 hands. And the officials tell me that it's marginal contact, that it doesn't affect the shot, but it's a foul. And I don't, the foul that they called on Keegan, Booker was still going to get open. It was marginal. People hold at the end of games, and they call that foul because they say it's a foul and they got to make the right call. But the foul by Devin Booker, I'm just emotional right now from the no call. And I saw it live. I watched it again on playback, and a foul is a foul, and you got to call it, just like you called the foul on Keegan. If you're going to call that foul, you got to call any other foul, because Booker was about to be wide open because Keegan wasn't even running with him. I'm just, like I said, I don't know, man. You fight so hard, and then you feel like it's just not fair down the stretch, and that no call. I'm going to be interested to see the 2-minute report, because if they say that that's not a foul on Booker, I'm really lost.
I'm with him on the Booker thing, because that was a foul. But the Keegan, if I'm not mistaken, he's talking about the play where they ended up
inbound.
The inbound. His jersey got pulled, and maybe Mike couldn't see it. If the jersey got pulled, whether it was marginal or not, if a ref sees a jersey pull, they're going to call that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's kind of the fact that I think he's honestly more upset about the other one not being called in combination with that being called, because I don't know how you could say this is marginal contact, but that is excessive contact. And so, like, my question is, why didn't Mike Brown challenge? Why didn't he challenge the call? I'm looking at it now. He had a timeout available. He called a timeout with 3 seconds left. Right after Grayson Allen hit his second free throw, he had a timeout. Mike Brown has been so eager to challenge calls all year long and lose them early in the game. This is exactly why you have them and bank them for that kind of situation. I thought it was a blatant foul on Booker.
Did too.
I was furious.
Yeah.
I usually don't get mad at calls. Usually refs, it ends up bouncing out or just something that you got to play through. But something as blatant as that, like Sabonis even set him. The problem is he set him up perfectly for it too. Like he pump faked, got Booker in the air. Booker is coming down onto his back. Sabonis goes up with it, hits the shot. That was called an and one all game long. And it's just, again, the inconsistency from the referees of how are you going to call this in the third quarter, in the second quarter, where we can literally show you clips of Sabonis getting and ones on this same exact kind of contact. But then in the most important moment, you're going to swallow your whistle for us and then give that. I mean, whether it was a pull or not, sure. It's also the last play of the game. You've got to allow a little bit more nuance in that kind of situation. Unless Keegan is physically, I haven't seen the replay, so maybe it is egregious and I just haven't seen it.
I wouldn't call it egregious, but you can see the jersey, which I think that I'm trying to think of a comparison, but if you see, it's like the pass interference. If you don't turn your head, right? If the ref didn't see him turn his head, the ref saw the jersey pull, so automatic. I'm not saying it wasn't right because it was less contact than the Booker play. So it's a mess.
The refs got to understand, though, that's game. Like, that's pretty much game at that point. So it's got to be really bad.
Yeah. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Vince, we see you. We will get to you right after we get back and pay some bills. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorte is over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Been chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your 2024 grilling season right with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. It's incredible. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton's President's Day savings. Unleash luxury and precision in a new Acura Integra, RDX, MDX, or TLX. Quality meets affordability with savings on our best selection. Get to AcuraofStockton.com and start your experience today. Own the road in style. Visit us today or go to AcuraofStockton.com. Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Whether you prefer thrills or serenity, the 2024 Accord from Elk Grove Honda delivers both. With Honda Sensing Standard, the 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in car and driver award history. Drive a 2024 Accord Hybrid and see for yourself what the fuss is all about. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Seeing a developing story about Kyle Shanahan not confirming that Steve Wilks will be back as the team's DC. Mentions that it will be discussed at a later time. One thing that we had not talked about, Chris, was, I don't know if you saw this, some of the timeouts being called throughout the game, at least twice, where essentially people were saying that Kyle Shanahan didn't like the defensive look that Steve Wilks came out with.
Oh, yeah, I heard that
That's why
once.
they called timeouts, so Kyle Shanahan could basically run what he wanted to run. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Does not sound good at all.
Their sources saying that he was on a short leash going into the Super Bowl.
Right.
So the defense I thought played pretty well. I don't know how much of that now was Steve Wilks or how much of that was Kyle Shanahan. He's probably gone.
Yeah.
Right. What's up, Nate?
That one play specifically you're talking, I only remember it once. But what broadcast was saying, Romo, Mr. Predict Everything, was he saw a zero blitz coming, which means you match up everybody and you send whoever you can that isn't matched up with a receiver or tight end on that play. So Shanahan did not like that in the situation, called a timeout because, Chris, you'll remember, the Niners called a zero blitz against Kirk Cousins at the end of the half that resulted in a touchdown that debatably lost the game. I mean, it's hard to say so early in the game, but he didn't like that. So it would suck to go through another defensive coordinator.
Right.
Not for the same reason you've lost the other two.
And very slow start for the Niners defense this year.
And they remind me, so they make that change and then the Niners, because what I believe I read,
change?
They changed the play and then they got the stop.
I believe so, yeah.
But then the Chiefs got the first down, I think, the next play.
Yeah, it's the zero blitz thing that's scary. I think that is such a, like, you look at the Giants this year, they were blitzing on like 55% of their plays or something and just giving up massive plays.
Yeah.
Mahomes is obviously smart enough to pick up on that and see, and the pressure doesn't always work. So it's extremely situational.
Right. Everybody says you better get to them.
You bet. And if they weren't. They hit him a few times.
So seems like pretty soon here we'll be reporting on a new DC. Who that person is, people are talking about Bill Belichick. I highly doubt it, but anything is possible.
That's crazy.
Is possible.
I mean, I know, even from the start, it sounded like Wilks was never really given power. Like he essentially came in
the
and they
booth,
said
the whole booth thing.
The booth thing was weird, but even from the start, it was Steve Wilkes. You're not going to implement your defense. You're going to learn what we do, and you're going to understand that. And I don't know. And then you throw on it is very Kyle Shanahan to say, I know offense so well, I'm going to start coaching defense.
Right. Well, and
all of his defenses have been raw, though.
No, they've been
Niners.
great. They've been great. And I'm not like, I'm kind of trolling there. Like, it does make sense. I mean, every great offensive mind does it or has a real understanding of defense. That's what makes them so great.
To clarify, though, only on the good teams. The bad teams, the defense was horrendous.
Right. Well, the thing is, and what I've been seeing from a lot of Niners people, fans, media, content creators, is that these last couple of years, the Niners have had excuses, right? Excuses can be true. We'll talk about luck, everything. 2 years ago, Jaquiski Tart, he drops that pick.
I hate that one.
What would have happened, right? Last season, you have Brock.
In that game.
Okay, last season you have Brock, and he tears his UCL. He can't go anymore. This was really the first, and then prior to that, I think is when the Niners just the Jimmy overthrow, whatever it is. This is the first time, I think, for a lot of Niners fans and everybody, unless you're going with this luck metric,
right.
This is the first time you just got beat.
Right.
There's we didn't have Brock.
People are going to say no green law.
No green law, right? But
there's always going to be something.
There's always going to be something.
No matter what.
You just got
Super
beat.
Bowl ever.
This is the hardest. You can look. everybody can look for an excuse.
Yeah.
This is the hardest one to look for, right?
Yes.
Last season was legit. Jaquiski Tart, I don't know how legit. You just got beat.
Yeah.
So now, because of that, people don't know how to react. So it's got to be Steve Wilkes. It's got to be somebody's fault.
Somebody's got to take the blame.
It's got to be this luck metric. It's got to be something because we should have won. So Steve Wilkes seems to be the fall guy. Whether that's fair or not, It doesn't really matter because we don't make the rules, and it feels like we will be reporting on the Niners moving on fairly soon. Now let's move on and move back to the Kings. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's go to Vince, who wants to be a part of the conversation. Vince, what's up? You're on Stiles and Watkins.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not too much, man.
Weighing on the Kings, man. If I could, they definitely got screwed yesterday. That was crazy. But I kind of have a unique take on this Malik Monk situation.
Okay.
I mean, watching the game yesterday, he definitely brings the energy. And I think, I don't know why he hasn't broke his way into the starting lineup. I think his energy will feed off on Keegan as well, maybe get him going. I don't think, Keegan basically mimicking Harrison Barnes and his mannerism maybe keeps him a little bit duller than where he needs to be at. And, for the history of basketball, man, it's about starting. If to not start a guy because it fits into your team a little bit better, it's kind of like, passing the buck on coaching. You got to figure out, reward the players that are playing hot and make the adjustments. What do you guys think about that?
No, thanks for the call, Vince. Yeah, I think that we've heard a lot of, hey, get Malik in the starting lineup, and I think that's what I'm stuck on. Right? I've talked before about, I'm open on this show. I wanted to be a center fielder. Everybody wants to be a center fielder. A freshman came up. He was a sophomore, a freshman or a sophomore. My senior year, coach said, "Hey, Alan, let's see how things look in left field." Never saw center field again. And even prior to that, right, when I was in school, they said, "Hey, Alan, you could play center, but you're probably going to be a left fielder at the next level." I did get a cup of coffee in center, but the coach was right. I got moved to left. So Malik Monk, to me, you can move him in the starting lineup because of a need that you think he fills.
Right.
But ultimately, the final version of this team. Now, I get what Vince is saying as far as just ride the hot hand.
Right.
I guess maybe I'm looking too far in the future because I think that the final version of this team, Malik Monk, is not in the starting lineup. But the final version of this team is not right now.
Yeah, I also I just really don't care about starters. Like, I just think that starting is overrated. I hear what he's saying there with, it traditionally has been used as a reward system. Absolutely. Like, it's try and tell any NBA player that starting doesn't matter. And they'll tell you it matters at least a little bit, especially contracts and just how you're perceived as a player. But, ultimately what matters is Malik Monk ends the game for the Kings. When the game is on the line, Malik Monk is on the floor 9 out of 10 times. And I think that's what's more important with Malik is the fact that he's going to play well enough leading into those moments to justify playing him at the end. I don't really think the Keegan thing, Keegan is just a low maintenance, very chill guy. I don't think that has to do with HB at all. I think Keegan would be that way no matter where he was at. So, I think I hear you. I hear the Malik Monk starting thing. I think, I think you put it perfectly. It might make sense because of the situation that they're in right now, but ultimately down the road, when this team is truly trying to win championships, Malik Monk's going to be coming off the bench.
So that's what,
or playing a 6-man role, I
right.
should say.
That's what I'm not sure how this would act, right? I don't know how often it happens with teams. I know the Warriors have kind of flip-flop their starters. Somebody like Malik Monk, how do you, maybe it matters or not. Let's say we know that the Kings want to keep Malik, right? But the Kings are going to have to make a lot of, assuming, and look, by the way, I hope I'm wrong, but let's assume it's a another early exit for the Kings. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. Another early exit for the Kings. The Kings are thinking, okay, we got to make some moves. We know we want to keep Malik. That's the whole reason he was part of that. We believe he was part of that 7 that Sam Amick reported they didn't want to touch, right? So you go into the offseason, and Malik started the last 30 games, and let's say he balled out.
This year.
You're
saying the rest of this year just started.
He starts tonight.
Okay.
The rest of the season, he balls out, but they lose in the first round. They're getting ready to, or let's say they lose in the second round. Because I still think they'd have to make some updates, right? They are looking. Monty says, okay, now we need to re-up. We're looking at a Jimmy, whoever they get. Now you say, hey, Malik, we know you balled out the last 30 games of the season, but we weren't really that good, so you need to go back to the bench. I'm just saying I don't know if that normally happens. I don't know if that
Not
typically
really,
happens, and how Malik and now you have other teams saying you could start for us right now. Right?
Yeah.
They might be lower tier teams, but Malik might think, well, we lost in the first round here. Right? I could go to the Hawks, I could go to whoever, and we could be in the play. We were messing with the play-in all season. And I could start for this team. So I just don't know how that typically goes to give to that point, kind of the high school model. And we know Mike Brown, it's been a weird high school model. Chris Duarte only starts.
Yes.
That's the only time he plays.
Only time.
Is when he starts. Last night we saw a lineup of Davion and Keon.
Yeah.
It's out
Kessler's
of control.
out there too.
Kessler's out there too. It's very confusing, but I don't know if you want to hand something to Malik.
Yeah.
He balls out.
Can't take it away.
And then take it away because well, we're trying to get better. It's just a weird conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't know how often it happens. All right, let's get to a break. When we get back, we're going to take a little respite from the Kings talk.
Yeah.
To talk about Valentine's Day. Overrated, underrated, or properly rated. And Nate has told us that he is not going to agree with most men's takes. Stiles and Watkins. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
530 on our beloved text line. Examine the rotation. Monk comes in for Fox, scores points because no Fox. If Fox and Monk start, then you are looking at Herder to fill Monk's shoes.
This is what I was going to say. I was literally going to say this. It's what people don't understand or not talking enough about is the main reason Malik comes off the bench is for that exactly. The rotation goes, to start the game. If you look at the end of every first quarter, you notice something about Domantas Sabonis. He always has like 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Mm-hmm. It's because to start the game, they just run everything through him. They try and get Keegan going. They try and get HB going. They try and get Herder going. They don't even really think about De'Aaron Fox in the first quarter until he checks back in with like 2 minutes to go. It's about Domas setting up everybody else so that, it'd be great if HB gets started early and then you can go back to him in the second half even. It's about getting those guys going early. Then Malik checks in. And Malik provides that spark. He continues the offensive explosion because, again, like the texter put so perfectly there, imagine De'Aaron and Malik playing at the same time, and then there's going to be a period where both are out of the game.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Yeah.
Your offense is going to stagnate, and the Kings, unfortunately, don't have, another type of lineup to go to. It'd be one thing if, okay, De'Aaron and Malik check out, we're now going to go to a hyper defensive lineup because we know we don't have the offensive weapons. But if we can stifle the other team's offense during those minutes, well, then it's kind of a net neutral.
There's a team clamps. You could come up with a team clamps. Come on now.
Let's do it. Let's try and
clamps.
Yeah, it's got to be Davion, right? Davion,
Keon, Kessler.
Keegan's got to be out there. Keegan, Kessler,
and Alex Len. That's team clamps. You're not making a thing.
You're not making a thing. I don't know who's even running point. Like Davion's running point,
and everyone is playing hot potato until the shot clock goes down and then Keegan's is chucking up a three.
See, but the problem is, honestly, if we could turn that into a real thing, that's where the Kings desperately need Keegan Murray to develop.
Oh, I got smoke
because that has to be a possibility for this team to run a lineup where not every like we've been incredibly blessed with De'Aaron not missing a ton of games in a row, with Sabonis not missing a ton of games in a row, because if you take those guys' rotation minutes out, then you have to have a guy like Keegan Murray be consistently stepping up. And he's kind of been able to skate a bit because HB has had, that good stick.
He's not skating today.
He's not skating today. No, he's no longer skating.
What time are we doing it? Because he's not skating today.
Next segment.
He's not skating today. All right. I'll tell you that.
11:15.
I'll tell you that much right now. Let's get to the phone lines, 916-339-1140. If you want to be a part of the conversation, let's get out to Will, who wants to talk about the Kings. What's up, Will? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got for us?
Man, you guys, especially Watkins, man, you guys too analytical, man. Look, basketball is an emotional game. It's a situational game. Murray don't have a floor game. He can shoot, but he doesn't have a floor game like a Paul George or a Leonard or somebody like that. He's got to learn that. And then when you're talking about Monk and what's the other guard? Buck and Duran.
What, Fox?
The area. Yeah, Fox. Those guys can start together. I mean, you don't have to take them out at the same time. See, here's the problem. Like last night, they started the game. They started the game flat. My man Brown had to call 2 timeouts because Herter. It's just like I like Herter, but Herter can't guard any athletic forwards. He can't do it. He just can't do it. And you saw where him and Brown got into it because he just fell back and let the guy shoot a 3 over him, and he just his feet ain't quick enough. Let's just be honest. He's not quick enough on the feet. And then you guys talk about Malik's turnovers. He's a guard. Man, guards going to make turnovers. They trying to create. They trying to do things. And when I've called in a couple of times when Domas has had 5-6 turnovers, and you guys push back real hard on me. You push back real hard. If I'm the coach, Malik would start. I'll have to make other adjustments.
Will, they had 11 turnovers between De'Aaron and Monk. That can't happen.
I know that. But what I'm saying, they lost last night because that fool that hit Darren across the head, he hit that. Grayson Allen hit that crazy 3 with no time on the clock, and then you had the other guy. Royce O'Neal hit 2 threes. They lost. That's why they lost. Last night. See, the Kings can't be blowing games to Detroit, the Hornets. See, the West is too doggone competitive. You have good teams, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't be losing games. I don't have a problem with that game last night.
No.
I don't have a problem with them losing.
Yeah.
Because they can't blow games to weak teams. That's the problem.
Well, you're right, but thank you for the call, Will. But that's the problem. Now we have to examine these games differently because we can't go in the past, right? I hear what you're saying, but in literally that game last night wasn't bad, right? Chris has felt good about it.
I don't want to be too analytical.
No, well, Chris has felt good about it. We don't feel bad about the game. The problem is we cannot examine it that way now due to the fact that they tricked off those games. So now they're under a microscope. The mulligans are gone.
Yep.
That's the problem. I don't disagree with the fact that they didn't play poorly last night. It's not horseshoes, though. and they need wins.
Yes.
They need wins, and they have the fifth hardest schedule left in the league.
Yeah.
So it's not going to get – they got Denver tonight. Okay.
Yep.
They got Denver tonight. They gave it another good college try and a good effort. We can't be mad at that one either. They put themselves – you make your bed, you got to lay in it.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
That's it.
Tonight's going to be tough too.
Tonight's going to be tough.
Tonight is almost the definition of a schedule loss. Like I've been, you lose it. You lose an hour. First off, the game tonight is at 6 p.m. our time.
Elevation.
So you're losing an hour. You're going to elevation, which is already, they say it takes days to get acclimated to that kind of elevation. You're doing it, and I'm pretty sure the Kings arrived this morning, I would assume at like 2 or 3 a.m. So they're getting barely any hours to acclimate. And you're playing, the defending champs, too, that you just played the other day, blew out, and probably have some revenge before they head to the All-Star break.
That's what I was going to say, too.
They've lost 2 straight.
They want a good taste in their mouth, and they can let it all out on the court because they get a break after this. So they're not in the midst of they're not in the midst of a back-to-back. The last time they played was Monday. So they're coming back home. They lost to the Bucks handily, in Milwaukee. Now they get to come home before the All-Star break and basically just say, let's go out and get back on track. And we already got something for the Kings. So that's just what it is. And the Kings are going to have to figure it out. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will hear from Freddie, who I believe wants to talk a little bit of Niners. So we will get to Freddie and Steve Wilkes and the future of Steve Wilkes getting back to the Kings after that as well. And don't worry, we will get Nate's take on Valentine's Day. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Shop can't miss deals on appliances this President's Day at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $75 on every $750 you spend on all major appliances, like LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances. Shop in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 2/28. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $715. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 monthly zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year. 20 cents a mile. Low reserve security deposit. Fiat Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale, and that focus on quality continues today with brands like Flex Steel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
Sactown Sports.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
1 o'clock. That will be in the middle of our Kings Roundtable. You will have a chance to win Daniel Tosh tickets at Hard Rock Live, which is April 12th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1 o'clock. We will have one of the round table, the Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Pick a number for your chance to win. Let's get out to Freddie, who's been patiently waiting through the break. Freddie, you're on Stiles Watkins. What you got for us?
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. First off, I want to say, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Hope everyone has a great one with their loved one.
Appreciate that, Freddie. Same to you and yours.
No problem. But the reason for my call today is I just wanted to touch up on the whole Steve Wilkes conversation that you guys were having a few moments ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bleed red and gold. And just from what I've seen this season, it just looked like Steve Wilkes was a little in over his head. I mean, coming in from a situation in Carolina where, expectations weren't high, to coming into a situation where, excellence is, nothing less than excellence was, expected. It just showed that he's just not the right fit. The Niners added a lot of, a few quality defensive players, on the defensive side of things, and they underperformed. They didn't perform as good as they did last season. And you can argue that they were better, but it just didn't show up on the stat sheet. And I'll take you guys' answer off air. But I want your opinion. what do you guys think of a potential Mike Vrabel taking over the defensive coordinator spot?
Yeah, no, that's a great call, Freddie. Was that you, Chris, who said that during the crosstalk? Yeah, Chris even brought that up during the crosstalk with Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross. Yeah, this is what's so interesting. These numbers really don't matter because what matters is how you end. Because I'm looking here, I'm on Pro Football Reference and seeing team defense. Baltimore Ravens were 1, Kansas City Chiefs were 2, and the Niners were 3. Right? Yep. But I guess, does that not matter?
It's a championship defense to me.
Maybe it doesn't matter, right? So you
got to be number 1.
Right. You take a Kansas City Chiefs team who has a number 2 defense in the league and Patrick Mahomes. Sometimes it's just a rough draw.
Sure.
Right? Now, I know, like
I would like
said,
to know where the Niners offense falls as well, because it's like, I mean, if you have the number 3, I don't care if you have Patrick Mahomes. If you have the number 1 or if you have a top 3 offense and a top 3 defense, yeah, I'm sorry. That's not really I feel like that defense is more than good enough.
That's the tough part of this, right? Now I'm looking here.
How many advantages do you have to have? You know,
according to what I'm seeing, NFL team from FoxSports.com, NFL team regular season offense rankings. The Niners were number 2. So they were number 3 in defense,
there you go.
Number 2 in offense. And again, this is what is so tough. We read it off. What was it yesterday? A couple days ago, punt, fumble, punt, field goal, punt, fumble. There was one touchdown.
Yep.
There was one touchdown because Ray McLeod wanted to be. He literally said, "We got the quote. I'm a playmaker. Playmakers make plays."
Michael Irvin.
That's the one. We went to the Michael Irvin party. By the way, shout out Michael Irvin. Let me go to the party. That was the one touchdown that the Chiefs scored in regulation.
Yep.
And Steve Wilkes gets out of here. Like I said, I think everybody just feels like something was off.
Sure.
But was there something off? Now,
special teams.
Are we saying that they were number 3 in spite of Steve Wilkes? Is that what it is?
Right.
I don't know.
Also, that Ray quote, man, that bothered. I don't think that fool ran back a touchdown all year. So
he had a couple good runs, but I don't think he
decent
got,
runs.
He's a playmaker, though.
I
can't believe he said that out loud.
That's crazy.
It's not great. Literally makes me sick, bro. Also, no one's really talking about Jake Moody. That extra point. I mean, I don't like to play blocked, hypothetical. Yeah, but
it was blocked because it was such a low kick,
it was
right?
a low kick. If they kick that, I don't want to play that game, but it's ugly.
Yeah,
it's ugly. You never know.
I think it's because he made those 2 field goals, right?
Who cares? You know, like
I mean,
extra point. Bro, it's called the extra point. It's like a free. I know it's not anymore because they moved it back, but it's the Super Bowl, my man.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl.
I hear you.
No, for sure. I just think that's why no one's talking about it.
I'm butthurt.
It's like,
No, I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, the Steve Wilkes thing, if you got to get somebody. So yeah, to your point, Chris, I guess find somebody that can make us number 1.
Yeah, I guess.
But if it's like that, I know where you're going. Yeah. If it's like that, Shanahan had the number 2 offense. Well, they didn't have the number 1 offense.
Also, like, again, how many advantages do you have to have working in your favor? You don't, the Super Bowl champion every year is not the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense. Like, yeah, sometimes you have the number 6 offense and the number 12 defense, but you can still win a Super. Like, you don't have to have the best roster and have the best running back and have, the best defensive line and have the best offensive coordinating, head coach in the NFL. Like, you can't have everything working in your favor or you don't need to have everything working in your favor in order to win. Like, at some point it's like, the Jimmies and Joes got to go out there and execute too.
Yeah, right. And Dre Greenlaw, we were talking about the 2 best linebacker tandems in the league with Dre and Fred Warner, and Dre Greenlaw goes down. So, we'll talk about the luck a little bit later in the show, but yeah,
I guess the argument is, like you said, like, I guess it is people feeling like they were number 3 in spite of Steve Wilkes.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Which is okay. Like, I mean, you're still number 3,
Yeah, go find somebody, right?
I guess the argument is kind of what Nate was talking about earlier. Like, if you just feel like his specific play calling was so bad that it was putting the Niners in adverse situations, then I guess you can. But even then, who calls a perfect game? Kyle Shanahan didn't call a perfect game, that's for sure.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You have 2 defensive coordinators who have since moved on, right? And the Jets, their defense has been legit, right? Yep. And the Texans defense growing, young, but they're on their way. So if Steve Wilks were to leave, because he was interviewed, right, for whatever reason, we won't get into that. If Steve Wilks were to leave and to get a head coaching role, do you think he would have? Saleh really hasn't had that much success, right? He might be on the hot seat himself.
He is,
and you have D'Amico Ryans, who has had success. So I don't really know if there's a correlation there either. All I know is the Niners kind of wanted somebody to blame, and it seems like it's going to be Steve Wilks, and they'll probably move on from Steve Wilks, and then Mike Vrabel, he'll be good next season. I have no doubt if you went with Mike Vrabel, the Niners defense would be good.
Yeah,
because they have a really good defense. Period.
I've got a question for you with the Vrabel, or with, as Dave brought up, Belichick. Like, do we think Kyle Shanahan would want another head coach in the building? Like, I know, so. Obviously, like D'Amico and those guys became head coaches, but like somebody who has a little bit of like, I'm used to a certain amount of power and a certain amount of say. That just feels like a power struggle waiting to happen.
I think that he will now,
and Kyle likes to take credit for things.
Yeah, I think that he will now, simply because this one hurt. I think
got to swallow your pride, essentially.
And we have more. We have sound from Kyle Shanahan, and a lot of them. He talked about winning the big game, and hey, we won big games to get here. Kyle, there's one big game. There's one big. We know what you're saying, but there's one big game.
Exactly.
And I would say that everybody underperformed the whole way. I think Kyle Shanahan underperformed. I think you could say Steve Wilks underperformed. That offense did not look the same. I think they need to relook at that offense in general, because if you can sit here and say that defensively those rankings don't matter because once you get to the playoffs it's different, then I'm thinking the same way for the offense, because that offense did not look the same in the postseason.
Those games,
and it ain't about weather. Okay, maybe the first game, but you had a home game.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. That's why you were last going.
Yeah, you can't.
You had a home game. You didn't have to go to Green Bay. You didn't have to go anywhere. So if you can't look like how you've looked during the regular season at home, then I think everything needs to be revisited.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that Kyle decided to he had 11 targets, Debo. Kyle decided to make that a Debo game. When Debo couldn't get loose, he was getting clamped by McDuffie. He was getting clamped. Kyle did not make a change and decide to go in a different direction, which that direction would have only been Brandon Ayuk.
Right.
And I think that's why Brandon Ayuk was feeling like, why is Debo still getting targets
just
when
running
he can't
into
separate?
A brick wall. Yeah.
He got 11 targets.
Right.
So
and then he pulls his hammy.
And he's still getting more targets than me. I got 1,300 yards.
Crazy.
He had a big run too after that pass. Yeah.
Debo over me?
Can I bring up something you briefly mentioned last segment that kind of got me excited, which is not normal after Super Bowl loss?
Okay.
You mentioned Belichick as defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I like that.
But why?
Sure you do.
Okay,
I like that.
But Belichick would do it. Why?
I don't know.
Because he's not doing it to prove that he can then. He's too old to do it and then be a head coach.
He needs the wins as head coach too, right?
Yeah.
That's the record he wants.
I would say, maybe if he feels like he's not going to get that head coaching job, you could argue that there is a pretty good route to Belichick getting a lot of praise if he's the thing. He joins this Niners team, which is ready to win a title.
Yep.
He joins on that staff and, pretty much gets them over the hump.
But now I'm going back into
could be like a Buddy Ryan situation where they lift him at the end.
But now
Kyle Shanahan.
But now I'm going back to your thought process. Mike Vrabel saving the day, Kyle Shanahan could live with.
Yeah. That's
Bill Belichick saving the day.
Right.
I don't think Kyle Shanahan
could live with that. That's a lot of pride.
To me, that would come off like a KD Steph championship.
Sure.
Where it would be Kyle Shanahan got it, but Bill Belichick.
Of course. Yeah.
He had to save the day.
Well, that's why Bill would do it.
That's why Bill would do it.
Yeah.
So Kyle Shanahan, can you swallow your pride to win the big one? Because 20 years from now.
Hey, man, you want to make a deal with the devil?
Yeah. 20 years from now, they'll simply say that you won, Kyle. So I would do it.
They all count, man.
It depends on
those
how much
rings shine all the same.
Well, they do shine, but
we saw a couple of them on Media Row.
We did see a couple rings. We didn't see any NBA All-Star rings though. I was hoping we'd see at least Do they get Pro Bowl rings?
I hope not.
I hope they get Pro Bowl rings.
I hope not. I hope you get like a lei or something. Or I guess they don't do it in Hawaii anymore, but they should keep that tradition.
All right, get into a break. When we get back, discussing Valentine's Day. Gonna have some fun with that. Then getting back into the Kings. What is wrong with the Kings? What's up with that? What we've been seeing, and what is going to happen tonight in Denver. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line. On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's L1 report.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Nate trying to set the mood for Valentine's Day, apparently. So let's just get right into it. As I'm here, the love doctor.
Oh, thought it was Gus.
This is Gus.
Gus is the love doctor.
That's the love doctor.
He would have been pretty good on some late night ads.
We saw Gus's house on the way to the airport. You guys remember?
No.
The swamp.
Oh, that's right. That's not where he lives.
I thought you said that.
It's just perpetually
I saw a
in
tent
the
down there.
You know, it's a special evening, February 14th, that you spend with that special someone. Whether you go to dinner, make dinner, or order dinner. Hopefully that's all you do. Because...
Hey, yo.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm just saying.
I mean, some people are hoping.
I'm just saying you can't cash. It's really hard to be out here cashing out on a gift.
Well, that's not the implication I thought you were giving.
No. Whatever you do in your time, enjoy.
That could be expensive, though.
Your time. Well, all right.
Okay.
Chris Watkins. Yeah. Underrated, overrated, properly rated.
It's
Valentine's Day.
It just is overrated. It just is.
What a dude answer.
I know.
What a bro answer.
He is a bro.
We're just broing down on this show today. So
I'm gonna let this ride out.
Just
this
some
music.
dudes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I feel like it is the cliche bro answer too. But like, why do I on a Wednesday in the middle of February have to specifically take my girlfriend out to dinner? Like, why? I get, like, maybe if you want to say February is love month, like at some point,
That's
like,
right.
That's right. The shortest month is love month.
That's right.
Welcome
That's
to
right.
love
I
month.
just, it's more just like, why the specific day? Why not make it like, I'd probably have less of an issue with it if it weren't just, it just feels so random. It's just why I don't know.
I think that's kind of the point, a little.
But like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it feels more for people who get lost in the rhythm of daily life and just don't really get opportunities to go out. But I feel like in today's day and age, like, I mean, people go out every week. Like, going out culture is taken off. It feels like maybe it's just here in Sacramento with all, the bars and new restaurants opening out. But I don't know. It just it to me has never felt like it just felt like a Hallmark holiday for me.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hallmark.
I actually think it's properly rated based on it can be properly rated based on your significant other. I think that if you have somebody that expects a lot,
the expectations,
then it moves into the overrated realm. If you have somebody that understands, right? Hey, you got a birthday, you got Christmas, you got Valentine's. Now I got Mother's Day,
Columbus Day.
Okay, there's a lot of
That's
days.
a big one.
There's a lot of days out there. So hey, that it's just not very high on my totem pole.
Yeah.
Right. And if we
it's
understand
not that we don't
that,
celebrate, it's just we're not, like you're saying, we're just not going to blow it out.
to me, it is an age thing, or it's a where you're at in your relationship thing. If this is your first Valentine's Day and this is the first relationship that you've been in a long time, go ahead, do it. I have buddies that
Go ahead, kids.
They finally got girlfriends now. Enjoy yourself. But me, married, a kid, we've been around.
Get
Hey,
in this game.
we got this dinner. You got a card. The gift cards are gonna go to places I know you like,
right?
And we're just gonna keep it pushing.
Yeah, Outback Steakhouse.
Okay, well, we ain't
a
doing
little
that.
bit nicer.
I like, or you do something you like. We like to cook.
Like,
So we're
what
cooking
is your
tonight.
plan? Yeah, so your plan is to do you have like is it like a steak?
Yes,
like,
we're doing lobster tonight.
Oh,
we're doing pasta
that's
and
awesome.
lobster.
That's
elevated,
awesome.
absolutely
elevated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nate,
I think we're DoorDashing.
so you got to overrated. You got to can be properly rated from me. Nate, where you at?
So I guess I have to take underrated then.
You don't have to.
Well, you teased it like I have some
Yeah,
sort of
right.
insane theory here. It's more based on my relationship. Got a couple things to get off my chest here.
Okay.
Listeners may not know this. Me and Alan are in relationships with somebody who has the same name. I have a Kayla and he has a Kayla.
Right.
That's weird, right?
Good info.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Kayla, but I want people to know that I'm talking about my Kayla,
Right.
not
I
yours.
think they
you
would
know?
have
I think they would have put that together. but
One
go
more
ahead.
thing. You said lower on the totem pole as if it's a bad thing. Totem poles, the lowest part of the totem pole is the most respected part, if you guys didn't know that.
I didn't make up that
You
saying.
learn something
Yeah,
new
no, so
every day.
that saying really bothers me. So the bottom on the totem pole is actually really important.
Thank you for
Valentine's
that.
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Mhm. Top of the totem pole.
So Kayla, my Kayla, obviously, is
I'm gonna turn my mic.
is in love with Valentine's Day, like immensely. She
That's
weighs it a lot higher than Christmas. Maybe not her birthday, loves her birthday, but she puts Valentine's Day at like top tier list when it comes to gifts and stuff. Like Christmas,
But Nate, you said she's putting it over Christmas.
when it comes to gifts, it's kind of crazy. It's a little crazy. It's hard to grasp.
But you only got 3 right now. Okay,
Only
so
got
that
3
you
what?
only have 3 things to worry about. So that's not that
Our
crazy. to me.
anniversary. Listen, this is just how it is. This is how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not on a side here.
No.
I'm trying to be a good boyfriend. I'm about a C+ boyfriend.
All right.
Okay. And I'm trying to fulfill that. So what she likes to do is we go to Target and there's a list of like things we have to get for each other. So we go in, and this is unlove-like. We separate in the beginning and we have a list. You got to get something that's pink. You got to get something we can do together.
Oh, you're serious.
I'm dead serious. I don't pick this
So
out.
you have to do
her
this
thing.
tonight.
Yes. We got to get something we can do together. Something
Like a board
that
game?
reminds. Yeah. So that reminds you of the other person. And we do this. And I just do. I'm just trying to be a good boyfriend here. I'm trying my best. I know
There's worse things you could have to do.
I put my foot down in other places.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
So what else?
So we're gonna do that tonight.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna cook steak, like you said earlier.
Okay.
Got some steaks left over. That's
What
too much
time
for
are you? Are you getting?
Bro,
what are you
I'm
getting?
like-
Are you going straight to Target from the show?
So
No.
many things already.
Dude, she loves Valentine's Day. So I had to ask her to be my Valentine yesterday.
Wow.
Listen, I'm low on her totem pole, so this is important. But
Okay.
so she's hardcore into Valentine. That's like her favorite holiday, pretty much. So I do what I got to do to she makes compromises for me. She wastes every Sunday, me screaming at the TV at my parents' house.
That's
for the
fair.
Niners.
Kayla has also brought us food multiple times.
That's right. We met her lovely woman.
We sacrifice for each other.
That's
We're partners.
Yeah, this is just one day.
It's one day, and if I just complain about it, it's just
No,
not.
you can't complain about it.
No, it's just
No,
not.
you're
not
actually
listening
for
to
the
this
for the record, Nate is not complaining right now.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
I'm not. All I'm doing is just giving her the day, and I know she likes it and appreciates it. So it's like, all right, I'll do it. I'm not gonna whine about it, and it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Nate, that is beautiful.
But
thanks, man.
is it overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
I'll just say underrated, just for the giggles.
It to me sounds like it is way overrated.
I think Nate likes it. I think he's the one saying, "Can we make sure we go? I want to go."
Chill. Chill on that. Don't do my voice like that either. That's not how I talk.
Well, maybe it is with,
I talk like this.
You don't talk like that to her.
No.
We've had these conversations about voice changes, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay. That is not how you talk on Valentine's Day.
It's not. It's I don't know. I just
that's great.
My foot's down in other departments.
I honestly have a huge amount of respect.
Come on, yeah.
I honestly do
Thanks,
truly have a massive amount of respect for the amount of dedication that takes.
I have one more piece of relationship advice too, if you want that.
I would say kick
early in the relationship. Set the boundaries low, set the standard low. So when you do things like get flowers, it's the biggest thing in the world.
Right.
Yes.
Don't flush your partner with all these gifts, because that's the expectations 24/7 now.
I actually have something else along that, and this is something that
peaking at the right time.
Yes, exactly.
Something that I've also learned: don't do something that's not on your significant other's birthday if you're not prepared to still come correct on their birthday. I've failed with this because I've done a concert.
Can you explain, which was like a day before her
exactly
birthday? Yeah,
exactly.
That's a big
because
mistake.
You're gonna have to cash out twice.
Big mistake.
Because you can't just say we went to a show yesterday
right.
and I don't want to give a card with nothing in it.
Yes.
So
can't do that.
You better be prepared to cash out twice. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about birthdays. And it would be same on Valentine's Day, right? Let's say you wanted to hey, we're gonna go to the Kings game. I think I did actually do that for the Warriors when I was in the Bay. We went to see Warriors Rockets. It was around Valentine's Day, but you still you can't just wake up the next morning and say, well, we went to the game last night.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't work like that.
You better be prepared to do both.
At least minor. You got to have at least something minor prepared.
You got to have something minor prepared. All right. Well, thank you, Nate. That was great. Where's the music to play us out of here? Play us out of here, Nate.
But, I appreciate you guys not dogging on me too hard either. But it's, you got to pick your battles. That's relationships.
Wow. Outstanding. Yes. Valentine of the year.
Ooh.
Goes to Nate.
I like the voice. Chris, can we get a voice from you?
Yeah.
I can do an yeah. That's
You're just a
really give
soundboard for
sensual sound.
Go ahead and catch Nate Littlefield at your local Target tonight.
Dude, you threw up an eyebrow.
Target.
We'll be right back with more Stiles and Watkins.
Oh, yeah.
Did you miss part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up Podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
The 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in Car and Driver Award history. Come drive it. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave, asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Appreciate Nate letting us have some fun. Chris and I had no clue what Nate was going to say, but I'll tell you something. Didn't think it was that.
Definitely not.
Did not think it was that. So appreciate Nate for being a good sport there.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Here you go, Chris, as we get into some LeBron talk. But right before that, just as far as the Niners are concerned, in the past 30 years, only once has the team that didn't win the Super Bowl gotten back to the Super Bowl the next year. Once in the last 30 years. No, there's only 3 that have done it, period.
Yeah.
Right? That have won it. 8 have gone back in the history of the NFL. In the past 30 years, only one team has done it. Can the Niners be the second team in the last?
Does it say who the one team is?
It doesn't say it here.
Interesting.
Doesn't say it here.
Interesting. Okay.
Is that not the Patriots?
Is it?
Read it back to me one more time.
In the past 30 years, only once did the Super Bowl losing team make it back the next year.
It could have been the Chiefs.
It's not the Broncos.
Is it the Chiefs?
It might be the Chiefs.
Oh.
It might be. I'm trying to think the year they lost.
They lost to the Bucks, and then who would have? The
Bengals. They took a year off.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bengals.
Yeah.
Won.
Interesting. Yeah, it probably is the. I mean,
It's
the
not the
Patriots is
Rams.
definitely the best guess.
It's not the Eagles.
No.
It's got to be the Patriots.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
It's not Broncos. This is good radio.
Great. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, there you go. Search through. Whitey probably knows. He'll tell us.
He definitely knows. Yeah, no, he's probably already got that ready.
As somebody who, I guess the Kings, right, have a very interesting relationship with LeBron James. Almost went. I don't know how close almost is.
It was New England, by the way.
It was New England.
2018 and 2019. They lost to Philly and then won the next year against the Rams.
I think that should make the Niners feel good because it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Right. You can do it. 209 says Buffalo. I think the Patriots were before Buffalo.
Right. It said in the last 30 years.
In the last 30 years. Yeah. So LeBron James, a report came out today from
Buffalo did also do it though.
From Woj, and it also was Ramona Shelburne. They both kind of collabed on the article, and basically about 24 hours prior to the trade deadline, Joe Lacob called the Lakers to see if there was any appetite for LeBron James to move LeBron James. Joe Lacob called Jeannie Buss. It didn't go anywhere. LeBron and his camp, Rich Paul, they were asked about this, and they said they wanted to stay in Los Angeles, which I thought was pretty darn interesting for a number of reasons. The Warriors found a way to get Bronny after that. No. I'm serious. I don't think Bronny should come out of the draft. I don't think Bronny's ready. But if he is going to come out, go to the Warriors and go to Steve Kerr and Steph Curry and learn from them under their tutelage, and obviously your pops, because I don't think he should go to some random team. I don't think he should come out, period. Yeah. But if he is, I think so. I was surprised that LeBron nixed this and said, no, I think I'm just going to stay. I just don't think they know what their plans are. But this has led to now.
I would think if Bronny's staying in college, then that would probably lend itself to LeBron staying in LA.
So maybe he is going to stay.
Yeah.
It's possible, man. What is he averaging?
Like 5 points.
5 points or something like that.
I mean, it's honestly like he's not going to enter the draft.
He shouldn't.
There's no way. There's no way he's not going to get drafted. It would be the worst advice of all time, probably. I mean, because even the problem is, even if he does get drafted, it's like Thanasis. It's like you're not drafting him for him. You're drafting him for what comes with him. And it's just, yeah. If Bronny actually cares about his own development and actually wants, which I guarantee he actually wants to try and be an NBA player, he's going to stay. He's got to stay. They have enough people around him that if he comes out, I mean, that's just the ultimate miscalculation from LeBron and his team. And it really says a lot about just kind of how they view themselves.
Yeah. This is from Anthony Slater. If LeBron has wandering eyes this summer, or if Kevin Durant does, or if Paul George is going to be a free agent at this point, the Warriors will be in on that conversation because I think they want a legitimate star wing next to Steph Curry.
So do we. So do the Kings. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I guarantee the Warriors will want to be into those conversations. It's just a matter if anyone wants to sign up for what appears to be a bit of a sink. Not a sink. I mean, it's on its way towards sink.
I think.
Like, what's their championship window?
Well, I think Clay would have to be gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Wiggins, too, I would assume.
One of them.
Yeah.
But I think you could make the argument with how Kuminga is playing. You could convince somebody, Draymond, Steph, this new version of Kuminga, if you can find what's left of when really, if Kuminga's doing his thing, you don't really need Wiggins, to be completely honest. So
also, what is Kuminga if somebody else is there? I mean, right now they're having Kuminga try and play that Paul George, LeBron role. Like, I wouldn't want to see Kuminga take another back seat. We saw how unhappy he was at the start of this year. It's going to go right back to that next year if they're bringing in somebody else.
That's a good point. So maybe they're more so looking. You have to, if you think Kuminga, and there was a report
like what
that
we were
he
talking
was
about
untouchable.
with Malik, right? Where it's like you give Kuminga all this leash, it's going to be really hard to pull back that leash.
Draymond just called him the second option.
He sure, and he's hearing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's going to be really tough to have him have this kind of season after he pretty much, he went public, and that's pretty much why he got the opportunity he ended up getting. Like, if he's going to go back to being starved, I just think that's going to lead to a ton of problems like we saw last year with there's going to be a youth side and then there's going to be the vets. And it tends to not end well.
Yeah. So, to that point, I know the Kings are going to be in on some things as well.
Yeah.
It depends on, the free agent market, the trade
free agency is
market.
not good for Sacramento, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Like it's not realistic to expect them to get a Paul George or any of the top free agents. And that's why it's like, it'll be nice that the Kings will have all of their first round picks at the end of the year, but they're probably gonna have to make a move for somebody via trade, whoever it is that they target.
Yeah. So then how you have the Kings now, so obviously the trade deadline is passed, so now they're stuck with what they got, and then they just start fresh next season.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. I think that's where you start exploring trades. You can't really make many moves in free agency, especially if you're going to re-sign Malik. Like that's pretty much all of your cap space. You'll have the biannual exception or the mid-level exception, which can pay a guy. I think Malik's on it right now, and it's $9.5 million a year. So you can bring in an average guy, but you're also, again, if it's going to be via free agency, you're going to have to convince people that you're the best possible situation for them. And if the Kings end up in the play-in tournament, and whatever happens. If the Kings are one of the lower seeds in the Western Conference, why are they going to be the most attractive situation to anybody?
Well, they're not. Unfortunately, they're just not. And you already kind of spoke about the things that would be going against them. And now you add in the fact that they essentially, because that's the other thing, they end up in the play-in tournament and they basically had everybody. And I'm not talking about the shoulder because they're not talking about the shoulder. The Kings organization isn't. You have basically another lucky season in terms of health. That basically means that you underperformed. So it's not a matter of, I need a piece. Why am I going to go there when you guys didn't even play to the best of your abilities? You know what I mean? And you have Mike Brown, who's been very open, saying, I can make the plays, I can draw up this stuff, but these dudes got to execute.
Right.
So I think it's could be a very rough off season, and you're looking to have to make some decisions that you probably didn't want to make this year. And we're going to get into what some of those decisions could be after the break. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings visit the defending champion Denver Nuggets tonight on Sactown Sports.
And again, Fox pokes it away. Grabbed by Sabonis. Throws it ahead. Fox runs under it. Goes for the two-hand flush.
Catch the Kings and the Champs tonight at 6 on your home for Kings basketball, Sactown Sports.
Whether you prefer thrills or serenity, the 2024 Accord from Elk Grove Honda delivers both. With Honda Sensing Standard, the 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in car and driver award history. Drive a 2024 Accord Hybrid and see for yourself what the fuss is all about. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay.
Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing one or two pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado in stock. 2.9 for 72 plus great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
Finance with finance for GM.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
What's up with that? Kings bench last night. The difference in the first and second half for Malik Monk and Keegan Murray in February. What's up with that, Chris? And what bothers you the most?
And I got to say,
Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Keegan in February is just I don't know what's going on, man. It's so weird. It feels like ever since HB kind of took the reins for those couple games, Keegan took a back seat in those moments. That felt understandable because those shots were going to have to come from somewhere. And, you know, it's been talked about endlessly how Keegan's improving on the defensive end and how that impacts his stamina and his usage on offense as well. But, man, you cannot get in the month of February, 7 games, 8 points per game, shooting 39% from the field, 20% from 3 on 4 attempts a game. That's terrible for a guy who, especially at this point right now, in the middle of his second season where internal development was the talking point all year or all off season long, him playing poorly right now I don't want to say it's concerning because it makes a bit of sense to me. It's, you know, I talked about it yesterday on the live stream, but like going from March Madness to pre-draft to draft to summer league to first NBA season to then doing the season to playoffs to then, you know, maybe taking a week off and then working out with De'Aaron Fox in the summer and then starting your second season. There's just not much break time that he's had since he entered the league. And so I'm putting it on fatigue. I think, you know, the All-Star break is always placed at always the perfect time. It feels like right when guys are kind of starting to lose some juice, the All-Star break comes. And I think that's what I'm going to say with Keegan here. But, man, it's been tough. And, I mean, if the Kings, again, if they're lucky that De'Aaron and Domas are healthy right now, because if they were relying on Keegan Murray and he was putting up these performances, we'd probably be having some pretty harsh conversations right now.
I have no clue what to do with Keegan Murray. I have no clue at this point. And I know he had that out. We've seen these flashes before, but I mean, even in the flashes that we've seen, he's making a bunch of threes, right? I mean, I just truly have no clue what Keegan Murray is going to be. And I don't know that anybody can sit here and say that they've seen enough from Keegan to know that the Kings have an all-star within the next 2 to 3 years. And that's scary.
Sure.
That's scary going into an offseason where I don't know if De'Aaron Fox is 1A. I think Sabonis is the 1A right now. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I
At least regular season.
At least regular season, right? So I'm looking around, Chris, and that's not to say I'm not trying to say that this season is done. I just don't think that they're going to win a championship. So for me, it's hard to continue to only focus on this season. We have a bunch of games to play. Chris now is the optimist here, and we've kind of Freaky Friday'd this whole situation, Freaky Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. And
Valentine's Day.
Especially if we're okay. Hold on now.
Hey, yo.
If you're looking at what Keegan is going to be for the rest of this season, him as your number 3, the inconsistent play of De'Aaron Fox, it's just not enough. It's just not enough.
I think you got to hope for progression. Like you said, they're not going to win a championship this year. So with what we've seen from Keegan, he's not going to maybe he will. Maybe second half of the season, he'll come re-energized, and it's more of a sprint that second half as opposed to this whole season feeling like a marathon. So maybe Keegan can click in. And I mean, his defense has been great. This is mainly on the offensive end. He is taking leaps and bounds on the defensive end. There's tons of numbers, isolation defense numbers that will tell you Keegan is there and is making the leap on defense. But, you got to – Keegan Murray was also as the number 4 pick in the draft. His offense is why he was taken. And, yes, his defense is a huge, huge positive, which this Kings team desperately needs. They need another guy who defends to the level of Keegan Murray as well, but you need him to be consistent offensively, and that's the thing that I'm just going to look for the rest of the season. With them not going to win a championship, it's how close can Keegan get to building towards that. I mean, you see Jonathan Kuminga, we were just talking about him during the break. He's a guy who took a leap in the middle of the season.
Man,
I think that's kind of the hope for what you can have as a Kings fan for Keegan the rest of this way, is that something just clicks and everything starts to make sense. He can get into his own rhythm, and you can just kind of take it into next year and feel good about the direction in which he's going offensively. But, frankly, if we're just looking at the actual production of what's been done here today, it's a little sketchy. I mean, I think, they were expecting Keegan to be more involved on the ball, and they really tried in the first half of the season. But I think that, he just didn't. If you gave Monty McNair and the Kings organization truth serum, I think they would all tell you they probably wish Keegan was a little bit further along in his development.
He took 2 threes last night.
Yeah.
2.
Can't have that.
You know how many threes Davion Mitchell took? He took 3
in probably way, way less time.
That can't happen. 17 minutes for Davion. He took 3. Keegan Murray in 34 minutes took 2.
Yeah.
Chris, last week we talked to Heisman winners. We talked to Troy Smith. We talked to a lot of Warren Moon Hall of Fame players. And we discussed how certain guys, certain quarterbacks don't want to be put in categories, right? Oh, I don't want to be a dual threat, so I'm not going to run because I don't want people to think I'm only trying to run. See Jordan Love, certain players like that. I'm seeing situations where Keegan, it's almost like the work that they're trying to put in, it's crossing over too much into the game, and he's not going on instincts. He's pump faking and trying to get to the lane because we know that they've been working on more interior moves. But, brother, shoot the basketball.
Right.
If you got it, shoot it.
They all need to be counters.
Because you're still trying to develop yourself as a shooter.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Keegan is a splash brother in his prime.
Hold on.
He could get there.
Hold on. 200 threes last year, shot 40%.
That's 1 year, though.
That's his rookie year.
Okay, but Chris, because he did that, now I'm good on threes. I can just work on other stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah, because that's
he's been
there.
trash this year from 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say trash this year.
Okay, but he's not doing what he did last season.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, I'm not going to take this 3 because I need to work on my inside game.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's done enough in the league to abandon the three like that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I definitely do. I just think that that's part of developing. I mean, that's he can't, like, when else is he supposed to?
No, I get it. I'm just saying he's doing it too much.
You got to get your beak wet a little.
He's doing it too much. Is what
I think
I'm
we've
saying.
seen him take a step back, though. I think like he was doing too much, in my opinion, in the start of the year, and then it's really felt like they have pushed back a lot or pulled back a lot of the Keegan Murray offensive responsibility. And I don't know. To me, it just feels like he's turned into like HB again, where it's or HB just in general, not again. But it feels like he's standing out on the corner and he's not looking. He doesn't feel the confidence of, I'm this team's third or fourth option and I need to get mine at any specific point. Felt like at the beginning of the year, even though it didn't look great and his percentages weren't great, there was times when Keegan Murray had I wouldn't even say an ego, but he was like, oh, this is where the team wants me to kind of take the reins, and he's just not doing that anymore.
Harrison Barnes took 4 threes last night. He took 8 shots. Yeah. Keegan Murray took 9 shots, period. Okay? And a game like that, look, man, we're kind of screwed regardless because they got Kate. That's why we saw Davion and Keon playing together. So a day like that, I mean, Keegan, it's not as if there's one guy to focus on anyway. Sure. You need to get some shots. We need to score.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking here at the numbers. Nobody got clamped. KD at 28, Booker at 25, and Beal defended himself. and then you had the guys that we talked about, Grayson Allen with 19 and Eric Gordon with 23. So it's not like that's the whole thing. If your job is stopping, right, and that's slowing down, and that's, hindering your offense, well, you're not really doing that either. And I'm not trying to be hard on Keegan because I know how young he is. I'm being hard on Keegan because of what this Kings organization is telling us he is or what he is going to be.
Yeah.
If you're an untouchable, I'm not looking at it's the same way I treat Brock Purdy. And Jalen Hurts got paid. And Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy is now the dude, I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, what a cute story. Sure. No, now I'm looking at you like you're the dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're untouchable, that's how I'm going to treat you.
Yeah. I think I think that's totally fair. I would just say it feels like they have pulled back on the Keegan being that dude thing. It feels like this second half, again, when HB started going, Malik has now had 6 of 7 games where he has 20 plus points. It just kind of feels like as an organization, maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't, but it feels like they have said first half of the season was for Keegan development. Second half of the season feels a little bit more like, all right, let's ramp up for the playoffs. What kind of things can we do that we're actually going to try and do in the playoffs? And I think that's why you've seen some random Kessler Edwards minutes. I think it's why you're seeing Davion enter the rotation again. And I think it's the reason why you see Keegan kind of taking a back seat is because, Keegan, like you said, the future, that's all Keegan Murray, the future. But right here, right now, I think we saw for those 3 games, HB can be a more productive player right now today. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely give up on Keegan Murray and still try and give him a little, just because why is it got to be all or nothing? Why can't it be not for you, for Keegan? Why is it either you're getting all of these opportunities or you're taking this massive back seat? I think he just needs to do a better job of finding a balance of being in the middle and, still finding moments of which he has here and there. But I think he just needs to do a better job of feeling impactful.
Yeah. I just look at the rest of the Western Conference, and it's, if you have different models, right? You either have a big 3, you might even have a big 4, or you have an elite 2, whatever it is. And I feel like the Kings aren't really sure what model they're moving forward with, and they're not going to know until the end of the season, to be completely honest with you. And that's going to affect how they decide to make any moves. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, previewing the Nuggets and Jokic. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fried co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, bag boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys, bag boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nuggets, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
No fees on all Kings tickets happening now. You can experience Sacramento Kings basketball live with no fees on all remaining games. Watch as the Kings take on the top teams in both conferences, including big matchups against the Bucks, Lakers, Knicks, Clippers, and more. Score big on tickets and cheer on the Beam team as they make a push for the playoffs. Don't miss out. This limited time offer is only valid until February 20th. Visit kings.com/no fees to take advantage of this deal today.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know, I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Got some news we want to get to, but real quick, as I was kind of thinking about our conversation during the break, Chris, I think what I was trying to articulate is that Keegan Murray, he's doing a lot of the pump faking, and as well as Keegan Murray shot last season, he doesn't take a lot of contested shots. And I think that that's probably a part of the development that I feel like might be getting missed, right? It's an open three because of the flow offense, and he gets a lot of open threes, or he pump fakes if somebody's in his face and he gets to the cup, and he's been dunking, doing a lot of things. But as far as that quick trigger and getting shots off that are more contested, right? I feel like that's something that he hasn't really done.
Yeah, I mean, especially from three, he just gets so many open looks that, in the Kings offense, there's so many good shooters that it's a bit of pass up a good shot for a great shot. But we are getting to the point now where, the Kings need 3-point shooting, and it gets, especially with, if the other option is De'Aaron Fox taking 12 threes, you're right. I would much rather have Keegan Murray take 12, and I don't care about the quality of them because I just feel more confident in Keegan's 12 than De'Aaron's 12, even though De'Aaron did hit 5 of them yesterday.
Yeah, like if we look at his development, the shooting off the dribble, the shooting threes off the dribble, the contested three shooting, I think is an area that might be getting overlooked a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think that's where they want him to get better.
Sure.
But he's not really taking.
No, this season it's been about I'm going to get to the cup more, which I think is great too. It's only year 2, but I'm just saying, if you're a 3-point guy, you can look at it a couple different ways. But if you're a 3-point guy, there can be different ways to continue being a 3-point guy. In an hour, we will give away Daniel Tosh tickets. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports for your chance to see Daniel Tosh at Hard Rock Live April 12th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1 p.m. One of our Sactown Sports Kings insiders, either Brendan or Frankie, will pick a number, and we will give away those tickets. Like I said, some news to get to here. First piece of news, the Niners have essentially scheduled a surprise media conference call with Kyle Shanahan right now. It's going on right now, today at noon.
As you say that, we get an Adam Schefter breaking news. A change in San Francisco. Steve Wilkes is out as 49ers defensive coordinator.
Belichick is in.
So there it is.
Not true.
So there it is. Steve Wilkes is out as defensive coordinator. He went from in the booth to on the field. People thought they had figured it out. To at home, to in the booth, to on the field, to on the couch. A story of 3 segments here as Adam Schefter has just broken the news. That didn't take long because the media conference call started at 12. So they basically got connected, made sure everybody was on the call.
Say hi. Is everyone here? Yeah, Steve's gone.
Steve's gone.
Questions?
Do you think this was a fair, and I hate to use the word fair in sports and in life for that matter, but do you think this was fair for Steve Wilkes? Do you think he underperformed that poorly that they couldn't say, let's see? I get their timeline. I get all that. You really think he should have been canned after this season? Was he that bad?
I would say from the outside looking in, it seems a bit harsh. Yeah. But that's from the outside looking in. Like, I don't know if internally there was a lot of defensive players who were complaining about him. I mean, clearly Kyle had some issues with him. So, if we're just talking performance based, you read it out. Like, they were the 3rd best defense in the NFL last year. I wouldn't say that their defense is completely the thing that looked most foreign in the playoffs. Like, their offense looked completely different in the playoffs as well. So you can't really single out the defense there. I mean, they turned over Patrick Mahomes. Like, they got a fumble in the Super Bowl. I just, unless you really just, again, internally, I don't know what plays are being called. I'm not really a football savant in that level, so I can't tell you if Steve Wilks is just, Nate broke down the cover 0 earlier. If it's things like that, I could definitely understand how Kyle Shanahan, who is a perfectionist, who does know a ton about defenses because of how much he knows about offenses, I could see how, maybe that would be justification. But for the most part, I see it on the text line here. I think the word is scapegoat completely.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I'm reading through everything now and just getting the feeling of everybody. And
he was the new guy too. I mean, that's the new guy. It's kind of the easy one to point out.
Yeah, there are Niner fans that are excited about it. Let's go. I mean, he's not the reason they lost. Does anybody think 916-339-1140? Does anybody think that Steve Wilks is the reason the Niners lost the Super Bowl? Does he get the biggest slice of blame pie?
Where's the special teams coach?
Does he still have a job?
Got it. Apparently didn't yell Peter enough. Apparently you got guys like Ray McLeod thinking it's time to be playmaker instead of just jumping on the ball.
I think Niner fans are delusional. I really do. I mean, I'm looking at these comments. Good riddance. Let's bleep and go. As if truly it was on. So what is it?
Like they were the Sacramento Kings of football.
Is it bad luck? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Why did you lose? And
when it can't. Why? How can you say, that's Patrick Mahomes? He's great. Like, he's going to do that to anybody. It doesn't matter what court. And then at the same time say, but this is Steve Wilks' fault. Like, it's either Patrick Mahomes does this to everybody. I don't know.
I'm seeing here in a response to Tim Kawakami, somebody responded to Tim Kawakami. Was this Nick Bosa? Nick Bosa did not seem to be thrilled. I think he brought up something during the playoffs or late in the season. Was it just Nick? We're paying Nick Bosa a lot of money.
Sure.
He doesn't like what Steve Wilks is doing. Maybe there was a bit of a, I hate to say age gap, but it's possible. Or maybe maybe it wasn't a good culture fit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
They got him out of there.
So the question is now, if you're making this seemingly rushed move, I mean, called an emergency press conference, do they have somebody ready to go? Like, do we think that this was done with the intention of, hey, we have a name or two in mind that we really want for that spot? Or is this something that they just felt like this part has to get done and we'll find somebody else who will do it, but anybody else would be better than the situation that we had?
John Lynch. He steps down from the booth.
That
goes
would be
to the sideline.
Matt Barrows.
He's like, I want some credit.
Matt Barrows says that Kyle Shanahan has stated the Niners will look both inside and outside the building for Wilks' replacement. Could it be somebody in the building already?
Made any ideas there?
Internally, no. I don't have any.
Okay.
Anything on that? I think it's going to be.
That's interesting. Right. Sorry to cut you off, but I guess if they would have had somebody internal in mind, why not? Why wouldn't they have just brought them in last season?
So this is
or they would have been like, Wilkes out, this guy's in.
Right.
Yeah. Right now.
And
this is with Belichick.
This is from Matt Mayoko, just adding some more context. Kyle Shanahan said he will look inside the building as well as outside the organization to bring in a coordinator who has more of a background in the system the 49ers have run since 2017.
What if Saleh is – a lot of people are anti-Saleh as a head coach.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a little reunion, but that's not happening.
He needs a hold-me-back guy.
Yeah.
He's not going to get canned now. It's way too late.
No, not now.
Yeah.
Not now. There you go. Wilks was hired a year ago to replace D'Amico Ryans, who became – head coach of the Texans. Obviously, just going through everything. If you're just now tuning in, Steve Wilks is out as defensive coordinator. Doesn't really matter what he did throughout the season or what they did in spite of him. Depends on who you ask. It seems like it wasn't a culture fit. It seems like it wasn't a system fit. And to that point, Chris, we can get somebody on tomorrow or maybe even today. I know we have the Kings roundtable as well. How this all kind of went down. Why would you bring somebody in who's not familiar with the system? How many people are familiar with the system that you're running? I'll just go back to my first question. Why would you bring in somebody that's not familiar with the system? And now you're going to look for somebody who knows the system. Yeah, we will definitely get somebody on tomorrow at latest to discuss this, because it seems like a weird decision from get-go if you are that quick to move off of him.
Yeah, I'm trying to read here. And yeah, somebody did mention as well the Nick Bosa comments from the other day. Nick Bosa said that the 49ers weren't prepared for the read option the Chiefs used on that game-winning drive.
I saw that.
And also mentioning that Kyle Shanahan called the timeout in overtime because of that cover zero call. It's really interesting. And here our guy David Lombardi out here saying Steve Wilks, who has a DB coaching background, was brought in to advance their secondary. However, they struggled on the back end with their pass rush this season. And Shanahan, quote, said it was harder than it needed to be.
The defensive season.
Yes. Quote, it was harder than it needed to be.
Wow. They couldn't stand
that
him.
Is crazy. That's pretty damning comments right there.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a break. We will continue to discuss the departure of Steve Wilks and where the Niners go next. Don't forget, we'll get back into Kings Talk at 12:30 as we have the Kings Roundtable coming up at 12:30 with Frankie Cardicelli and Brandon Nunez. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday forecast. We will expect rain this afternoon and through the evening drive home. Expect today a little cooler with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in car and driver award history. Come drive it. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's President's Day sale?
Huge savings on our remaining 2023 Rams. This month you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. And you won't find a better selection of new Ram trucks in Northern California, with over 500 Rams available.
That sounds like a good deal, but why drive all the way to Hoblet?
For 4 generations, we prided ourselves on being the small town dealer with big city selection and savings. When you buy from Hoblet, you're family, which is why so many of our customers come back and buy from us time after time.
Come to Hoblet and see what it's like to be treated like family at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $15,000 total net savings after $74.88 factory rebates and $75.12 dealer discount. Rebates may include 1,000 case construction bonus cash. Must have purchased eligible with new case equipment to qualify, and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be carry a member of eligible First Responder Association. 5 with this net savings. Symbol VIN 700008.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Some bad news coming out of Kansas City. Chaos. Shots fired at the end of the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Police and military personnel just took off inside of Union Station, trying to keep up with that situation. We will keep you updated on all of that, but pretty sad ending. Looked like everybody was having a great time. So thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved out there, and we will keep you in the loop on anything that we hear or come across. And if you come across or hear anything, feel free to shoot us a text, 916-339-1140, or on the SAC chat, continuing the conversation about Steve Wilks and whether or not he was a scapegoat in all of this. You know, some people are saying that he is. And, just yesterday, Shanahan said, I expect all of our coaches back. And today they've lost 3 assistants and they fired Steve Wilkes. And that's what happens when you don't get it done. So you have Ayuk, who and I know he kind of walked back things in his, I guess, locker room press conference yesterday, but this is what happens when you don't win. And this is why only one team has gone back to the Super Bowl in the last 30 years, because a lot of things can happen quickly. Grant Cohn, everybody's favorite Niners media member, Steve Wilkes, outcoached Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl.
That man just loves you. Oh man,
we need him on now.
We will definitely get him on
1,000%.
Yeah, as this thing continues to break down. Chris, I did want to say this before we get back into Kings, back into Niners talk. The 2-minute report did come out. Not sure if you saw that.
Yeah, Brendan was telling me about it in the hallway.
And this is what it says. Booker is drawn into the air on the pump fake towards Sabonis, but the resulting contact is marginal and does not affect Sabonis' ability to enter his shooting motion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, except for the fact that he's climbing all over his back, and maybe because Sabonis is so strong, he just kind of powered through it. It's absolutely excessive contact. I don't understand how you can say that Sabonis forces him into the air. There is contact when Devin Booker is coming down, but it's just not excessive enough. Like we've seen calls for much, much less. And I think that's the most frustrating thing for me about how games seem to be officiated is there's just not it's almost like what's a catch. It's like, hey, we're going out there and we're playing just backyard football. I know what a catch is just based off of vibes, and I've seen a catch my entire life. It's the same thing with fouls. We're playing street ball. We know that street ball might be a little bit more aggressive than NBA or regulated basketball. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we all know what a foul looks like and feels like. Mm-hmm. And it feels like that line has been blurred for soft calls and for aggressive calls. And I don't know what a foul is anymore. Like it's almost truly like NBA basketball is its own style of basketball.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I've always said, I don't know, you play pickup and certain courts, certain parks you play, offense calls the foul or defense calls the foul.
Yeah.
And it was always funny to me when it would be offense calls a foul, you would get fouled and everybody would stop.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But they'd get mad and some dude on the other team would say, we'll just call the foul if it's a foul. And it's like, brother, if everybody stopped, sure, it's a foul. We all know that it's a foul. Are you just going to keep playing?
Right.
Even though we all know that it's a foul. That's why we all stopped playing. And I think you're spot on with that. Refs just have no idea what they're doing. And they're getting roasted every single night.
Yep.
Okay. And you have people whipping out laptops and really making them look bad. And
2-minute report helps too, huh?
And
doesn't it make you feel so much better knowing that something we all know is a foul? They're then telling us yet again it's not a foul.
Right. And the 2-minute report, then you get annoyed when the 2-minute report tells you what you want. You get annoyed when the 2-minute report doesn't tell you what you want. So I don't really know the point of the 2-minute report at all. Right.
No
I don't really get it. So yeah, it's a bit bizarre to me. It wouldn't have made, and by the way, a couple nights ago, I don't know whether this will go through or not. If I'm not mistaken, I saw that the Knicks are trying to, I guess, go up against what was done to them a couple nights ago against the Rockets.
Yeah,
right.
That game's
they're trying to protest that. And the last time that was successful was when Shaq was still playing, I think I read.
Right, yeah.
So it's a bit of a mess, but if you ask Adam Silver, who's just chilling on the Pat McAfee show, everything's great. Everything's great.
Awesome. Everything is awesome. It's great. Yeah. I mean, it's a mess, man. Like, I don't know how they fix it. I threw out a theory a month ago that, it's the fact that there's like a new crop of officials in there. I don't know, man. I don't know how you're supposed to play defense anymore. And it's just a mess that the NBA is in. I do think that at some point here pretty soon, there is going to be a quality of game conversation that happens where, how entertaining is it to watch Joel Embiid get to the free throw line 14 times a game, or see Trae Young throw his body into somebody and get a foul call every time? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, jerking his head back every single time he gets touched. Like, that's going to upset a lot of people. And I just don't think that, basketball can, when it's flowing, when the ball's moving, it can be such a beautiful game and just a really entertaining product. And, going to the line is the only thing that halts the game completely. And I don't know why I guess it's to get games like we had last night where it's 130 to 125, but I just don't think that the elevated scoring is a good enough result for the product that it seems like we're getting in order to get there.
Yeah. All right.
Is it good that we have all of these 30-point scorers in the NBA?
And dropping 60 and a bunch of different situations. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will be joined by Brendan Nunes and Frankie Cardicelli to discuss the Kings during the Kings Roundtable. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my friends at Fire Wings talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Feels like it's been a while since we've been joined by the Sactown Sports Kings insiders, Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli. Thank you guys for joining us as always.
Thanks for having us. Has it been a while?
I mean, it was last week, but it was early last week.
Yeah, because it was just you last week, right, Brendan?
I think so. No, you hopped on.
It was last Tuesday.
That's right.
It was the day before we had it.
No, that's right.
Frankie, who are the ones in Vegas, right?
You were the How was the trip, fellas? How was the trip? I haven't got a chance to fully talk about the trip. Was it a good time? You guys had a lot of big name guests. That was very fun to see.
We did, and we really just grew the brand a little bit. Got a lot of different pictures. I hang out with Cam Newton, Bobby Clay.
Great Cam Newton picture.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you very
Bert
much.
Kreischer?
Bert Kreischer.
How was he?
He was outstanding.
That's a really good question.
He was outstanding. We are working through some different things that content is going to have to go in a different platform, but we will get that Bert Kreischer out to you if you really want it. We will get it out to you. And now, after the trade deadline, and both of you can say, "Hey, Alan, you were right," but I'll give you time for that a little bit later as Royce O'Neal goes to the Suns. And look, I feel like Thanos. Okay, look at where this brought you. You couldn't live with your failure, and where did that bring you? Back to me. Enter Marcus Morris on the buyout market.
So I knew that was coming.
Is Marcus Morris in this situation like your Iron Man?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't know about that. No, but I will say watching last night's game, I did kind of feel that sense of course, a guy that the Kings are linked to knocked down a three at the most. Literally my thought process was, do not let Booker get a shot off. Don't let Kevin Durant get a shot off. Royce O'Neal was open. As soon as the ball found him, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's one guy you can kind of live with taking the three. Especially like Eric Gordon. If Booker gets that three, I'm like, that's really going to be a bad situation. Royce O'Neal just knocks down a triple, had a big night for them, 4 steals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's just kind of another reminder that the Kings standing pat. It's up for debate right now. Was it the right move? It's been 2 years now. I think 2 calendar years that they haven't made I think Philip Petrusev, Kessler Edwards, and I'm not sure if anyone else has been acquired by the Kings over the past 2 calendar years, but it's going to be a long conversation that's going to go on for the next couple months and into the summer as well. But a tough loss.
Yeah. Were you surprised that the Kings didn't do anything? We haven't got to talk to you since the trade deadline ended.
Me? I'm going to start with me, I guess.
Go ahead.
Surprised? No, not surprised. I think that there's always been a sense around this team and just from people that we've talked to and been around that they have a lot of belief in these guys. And we've seen, again, the internal improvements over the past couple of weeks. They've started to kind of they've waned. I mean, Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter have been playing better, as a collective. But I think when you look at who the Kings are and where they are, and it's kind of surprising when you look at the fact that they are in a better spot in the stand. And from a record standpoint, they're in a better spot. But in the standings, they're worse because all the teams around them have made upgrades. They've gotten better. And by all of them, I mean pretty much every team around them, except for maybe Golden State. But they've had a lot of issues off the court as well, or on the court. Actually, in Draymond Green's case, a lot of issues on the court they've had to work through. But I wasn't surprised they didn't make any moves. I was kind of surprised about how quickly things have kind of snowballed as far as the teams that are kind of around them and coming for them. Like the Dallas Mavericks, Kings have fallen behind Dallas. You see the Lakers are playing well. They've made a couple of fringe moves, bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie. We'll see if that makes a huge difference. I don't think it will, but if LeBron and AD are healthy, they're going to be there. The Warriors are the Warriors again. So I'm not surprised, but I'm a little disappointed.
I mean, that's mainly where I'm at too. I think that I don't know how necessarily what level of disappointment. I think that they could have benefited from a Royce O'Neal, for example, or like I thought Fontecchio, who weirdly went to Detroit, would have made a lot of sense for Sacramento, but I'm not necessarily surprised. I thought that they were in a spot where they didn't need to be hurried. That the biggest thing for this year is De'Aaron taking another jump, is Keegan taking a jump, is we're seeing Domantas Sabonis be ridiculously efficient, which I think is the development that he's made throughout the course of this season. But everybody locked up except Malik Monk. Anything you did at the offseason or at the deadline, wasn't really going to affect your odds of bringing back Malik Monk. So I don't really think they needed to hurry. And I'm not sure that all these other moves that went around the rest of the conference, like for sure, made these teams that much better. I don't think anybody really jumped a tier because of any moves they made. I think Dallas is a little bit debatable. They really sacrificed a lot of their future to make some of those moves. So while I think they're a better team right now, that could look really weird down the line, and Kings maintain their flexibility. So I get the frustration, but I think maintaining that flexibility, I still think they're in a good spot moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what you guys think about, I don't want to say a push and pull, but it feels like, in my opinion, the Kings are playing like it looks, at the start of the year, Kevin Huerter couldn't hit anything. HB couldn't do anything. Keegan even struggled to get his game. Hey, man, I said what I said.
Damn.
And it feels like recently, you had HB have his revenge tour. Kevin Huerter last night, even though he doesn't, play a ton of minutes, he was 4 of 6, is knocking down threes. Keegan still is struggling to kind of find his footing, but they're playing better. But they're 11-11 since the turn of the new year. How do you guys feel about that? Is it a quality of opponent thing? Like, how do you feel about the team? I guess eyeball test, feeling and looking better, but at the end of the day, it's a results-based business. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've just been super inconsistent, and I kind of, not that it's an excuse because I think they need to have been better, but I'm curious how much it just being like the definition of the dog days of the season is affecting this group, like De'Aaron Fox specifically, because I think Domantas Sabonis has been reliable and efficient, putting up stupid numbers every single night, it feels like. And De'Aaron Fox has been the one that's been a little bit inconsistent. And I think this team is going to go as far as those two guys take them on a nightly basis. And this feels like the time of season where De'Aaron kind of does not relax, but slow down a little bit. And I'm curious to see how that changes after the All-Star break. There's definitely an aspect of, we got to take into account the teams that they were playing. And I think they've been really competitive in these games. I feel okay going into tonight's game against Denver, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back. Like, I think they could beat any team, but they could lose to any team too, as we've obviously seen. It's kind of the same story as last year, really, as we've talked about. So, I'm curious to see how much, specifically in De'Aaron's case, getting through the All-Star break will, rejuvenate him or help him get a little fresh again.
Yeah, Coach Mike Brown has said that you'll find out what teams really want to make a push in February, because that's when this thing can get a little bit dicey, and that's when teams are going to really up their level of concentration and have that bottom line, because you're out of the dog days at that point. At that point, now it's either go time or go home time. That's what it is. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I am not feeling good about the Kings at all. Not one bit. And I don't know what is going to push them in the right direction. You get a game like last night where, maybe that's the only team, the Suns, that's the only team that the Kings lose to with the numbers that De'Aaron and Sabonis put up. But that's just the West right now. And now you got to go face the Nuggets in the altitude, and the Nuggets are sitting there saying, we can blow it all out tonight because we got the All-Star game coming up next. We don't have to worry about any back-to-backs or anything like that. I don't know where this team is going to kind of get back. It's not really about getting back on track, right? Because it's really about, can you go to another level that you have not gone to yet this season? Because they have been where they've been all season long. They've been in that 5th seed, and now they're down to the 8th seed. That's who they've been. So my confidence meter is down because they have the 5th hardest schedule to finish out the year, and they will have to play their best basketball just to hang around. I know everybody is within a game or so of each other in that 5 to 8 range or whatever it is, but we're going to learn pretty quickly who this team really is.
Yeah, I mean, and this is again just kind of goes with the deadline as well. This is it. This is the team that they're going to have through the end of the season. And I'm looking at their schedule. It's a lot of hills and valleys. It's a lot of win streaks followed by losing streaks. Like literally, I'm looking at back to January, like a 4-game losing streak followed by a 4-game winning streak. I mean, obviously they played very well. They won 6 of 8. And now they've lost 4 of 5. It's just they need to find a rhythm as far as not letting these losing streaks snowball. And tonight, if they lose to Denver, another 3-game skid. And then at that point, you go back home, you play San Antonio, and then again, the schedule, we all know it gets horrible. You have the Clippers, Miami, Denver, Minnesota. There's not really a break in this schedule. And I'm looking at the defense again. The defense has fallen. I think they were the top half of the league a week or two ago. I think they're 15th or 16th. They've fallen to 20th. 130 points last night to the Suns. That was really, to me, one of the main things. They just could not seem to get a stop. And again, give credit to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. They knocked down some insanely difficult shots last night, but letting Eric Gordon get cooking in the first half, like going for 20 first half points, that's insane to me. I mean, that's just not the kind of guy Eric Gordon is anymore. He literally dunked on was it Sabonis last night? Like what year is it?
Yeah.
So the defense,
turn back the clock a little.
The defense is still an issue, and I'm looking at that over this last stretch of the season. But we've seen them make internal improvements before. They're going to have to again because no one maybe your savior Marcus Morris will walk into the door, but I don't know if he's going to plug all those holes on defense.
The reason that some of these guys got open shots, and I've kind of gone back and forth with the blitzing. How do you guys feel about the blitzing? Because whether it's Royce O'Neal, hey, you got to live with Royce O'Neal, or you got to live with Eric Gordon later in the game when you're choosing between Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Eric Gordon, even if he's on a heater. We saw the same thing with Grayson Allen. How do you guys feel about the blitzing and whether it helps? Is it working? What do you think?
I think they did a good job of just like showing them different looks throughout the game. And in that fourth quarter, it felt like, some alternating between we're going to blitz this possession, we're going to not blitz this one, just kind of keep them on their toes so they don't really know what's coming. And I think that's the best thing that this team can really do is just not be predictable, really, because we know that they're not the most talented defensively. Like there's moments Domas is going to get switched on to guys, especially a team like that where they're going small, obviously, and it's going to be a tough matchup, or Devin Booker's going to hunt Malik Monk late in the game, and like things like that are going to happen. But I think that just kind of showing them a lot of variance so they don't know what to expect, again, be unpredictable, I think is probably one of the most important things Kings could do. And I thought they did that in that game. It's weird. They put up 125 and I kind of still point towards the offense, but they made 9 threes that game. It's only the fifth game all year. They've made 10 or less threes. They've lost every single one of those games.
Yeah.
Like the team still goes as far as their offense takes them. And I think that defensively, obviously they have to do enough. They could have done better, but I thought down the stretch, they actually did a good job for the most part, given their personnel. And the Suns were hitting shots and the Kings kind of weren't, I hate to make it like seem that basic. Again, they put up 125. So I feel kind of crazy sitting here saying they could have scored more and that would have been the difference, but they didn't make that many threes, really.
Yeah. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back talking about the good old buyout market, we'll also discuss the expectations for the Kings after the All-Star break. Stiles and Watkins, Kings Roundtable, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
The NBA All-Star Game revs up in Indy.
This is going to be a blast.
You did it.
The world's best bowlers show out in Circle City. It's All-Star Weekend's grand finale.
You know I've been airborne.
As the game returns to East versus West in a clash for conference bragging rights.
It's an honor to be selected to the All-Star Game.
Coverage of the 2024 NBA All-Star Game presented by Kia begins February 18th on TNT.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 monthly zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based at 10K per year. 20 cents a mile over 0 security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Government Mule. Live in concert. 30 years strong tour. Friday, February 16th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Government Mule with special guest Lucas Nelson and POTR. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. New album, Peace Like a River, is in stores now. Don't miss Government Mule live.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Live and local. Live and local. This is Sactown Sports.
Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli, join Stiles and Watkins. Thanks to Nate Littlefield, by the way, doing his thing as always. Join us, the Kings Roundtable. Guys, we have a couple texts that I want to get through. This one, we're being asked to help out here. This is from the 916, okay? I need your help, guys. I'm feeling really down with my sports with the Niners, the Oakland A's, and the Sacramento Kings. Please make me feel better. What can I do to change my perspective on this Kings season to make it more palatable as a fan?
Okay, yeah, I can try to put a positive spin on it. So basically how I view it is the Kings, like Brendan said, they are set up well, I think, for the long run. Like they have guys under contract. They have two franchise pieces, De'Aaron Fox and Montes Sabonis, under contract. Keegan Murray showing strides. Again, he's been struggling lately. Again, I pulled up his numbers. Doesn't go hand in hand with the let's feel better talk, but he's averaging 8 points over the past 7 games. We've seen Keegan come out of these spurts before and play very well. That means he's due. Keegan Murray is due to play well. He's due to come out of this cold stretch and play, a better brand of basketball. I think that the Kings, as far as where they are right now in the standings, it was pointed out to me last night when I was laying out the strength of schedule, how the Kings are the 5th hardest strength of schedule. Someone pointed out to me, they've had the 5th hardest strength of schedule all year long. So this is nothing really new to them, which I think is a very good point and very important to note that the Kings, while they have a hard road ahead, they've had a hard road already. And there have been some pretty ugly losses, which could hurt them, but we've seen the Kings turn around and win some games that they quote unquote shouldn't have won. And again, tonight is another test for the Kings, and it's not going to be easy. You have Denver, who have been the best home team in the West this year. Kings and second time back-to-back. They've been historically bad. But I think this team is good. They're going to do some things that are going to surprise some people at some point. You have to hope it's sooner than later, but I don't think that the Kings, for losing a game against Phoenix in the fashion they did last night, means that this is a bad team, which last night there was a lot of spiraling going on, a lot of doomsday stuff with the Kings, and kind of like what we're doing right now. And yeah, things are looking a little bleak at the moment, but overall, the Kings, knock on wood, have had good health once again. They have, the guys to get it done. Trey Lyles last night wasn't playing. Does that help? Who knows? But you have to hope they stay healthy down the stretch and they can do some good things. But I mean, I would feel, if I was just taking myself out of what I do now, like objectively, they're over 500, 7 games. They're in the mix. They're well above the 11th spot in the West. We're not quite there yet as far as feeling like the season's unraveling. We're definitely not there yet.
I mean, I think that even you just look at these last 3 games, Denver, OKC, Phoenix, and the Kings beat Denver. OKC game was tough. They beat OKC multiple times already this season, though. And you look at that Phoenix game, and Sacramento very clearly had a chance to win that game. There's some calls that Mike Brown definitely was loud about post-game. And typically I don't complain about calls. I thought those were pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, the 2-minute report came out. And
it's all perfect, apparently.
Yeah,
which,
right.
Sure.
How?
Sure.
We
believe that.
I don't understand that.
What does marginal mean?
Devin Booker is on his back.
It makes
It makes no sense. We've seen that. We've seen the Kings get called for stuff like that all the time too. We've seen. I think Malik is a guy who really anticipates. He bites on fakes sometimes. He'll get on people's backs like that, and it gets called. That is not marginal contact if someone's on your back for a moment. Like if it's a brush by, it doesn't matter. He's on your back.
And what is marginal contact is Keegan barely touching Booker's jersey, and he runs free before the inbound.
It got pulled.
Did it mess with Booker's movement at all?
I'm just saying it got pulled.
But you don't call that in that moment. That's for game.
I didn't even see it until I watched it
ticky-tacky.
back. Anyway, but it's the inconsistency between the two. It's the inconsistency between the two.
Agreed.
Right? Either call both or call neither.
Yes.
And whatever. So the Kings have played some really good games this year, and I think they've beaten some really quality teams. You could look at Denver. You could look at OKC. You can look at Minnesota. You can look at Cleveland. And sure, there's some really ugly, gross losses mixed in there too.
Horrible.
But if you just look at the best version of the Sacramento Kings team, like, you go into the first round, and I think there's a way they can come out of it. Like, that you should feel that the best version of this team could come out of this series.
I want to build on that question. Sorry to throw it back at you two again, but give me 1 or 2 things, development points to watch for the rest of this season. If you are a Kings fan who is looking for some sort of positive, what are some? Give me 1 or 2 things that you guys feel like you're looking for. It could even be just for playoffs and that you want to see eventually play out for playoff success, or it could be something further development like Keegan and things like that.
That's where I'm at. I mean, as far as the Kings are, like, they did not make a move at the deadline. They did not go get that guy that was supposed to be like either a big name or not. That kind of puts more of an emphasis on where Keegan is, and Keegan has been playing poorly over this recent stretch. They need him to be what he was a few weeks ago, as far as a 20-point scorer, a guy who's been a two-way threat, continues to play solid defense, but they need more from him. Because last night, a night where De'Aaron Fox scores 40, Sabonis has an insane, historic triple-double again. Malik Monk is doing 6-man of the year stuff, and you still lose the game. That can't happen. You need someone else to step up. You need somebody else to kind of carry that load. Sometimes it's Kevin Herr, sometimes it's Harrison Barnes, sometimes it's Keegan Murray. None of them really took a step forward and delivered in a way that would have helped the Kings win the game. And again, the bench really was depleted last night a little bit because they have Malik Monk, they have Trey Lyles, who's been playing well. Trey Lyles out. Trey Lyles also want to add questionable for tonight's game with an illness. But I'm looking at Keegan. Keegan's my main guy to look at down the stretch, because if he can make that leap and then go into next year running as well, the Kings maybe really have something.
Yeah, Keegan for sure is one of the biggest X factors for this team, and I think De'Aaron's consistency is really big too. You look at the last 22 games, 23 points, 34% from 3, right? But then if you go, obviously, beginning of the season prior to that, he was at the 30 point per game mark for the first 25, knocking down 40% from three. And I think obviously last night in Phoenix, he played a great game, but I think consistency is kind of the next step for him really becoming in that or flirting with the superstar conversation. And again, this is the time of season I think that you can understand a little bit more, but he's got to be locked in the rest of the year after All-Star break in my mind. And then the other one I would point at is just also finding some consistency and regularity with the rotations. Right. You know, Mike Brown talks all year long about, he says he learned a lot of this from Steve Kerr, that he's going to give different guys opportunities throughout the season because it keeps them engaged. It keeps them working hard in their individual workouts, thinking, I never know when I could get put in this game. I genuinely could be at any point. Well, as the year wind down and we get closer to postseason, you better just figure out what your rotation is. Right. And I still think there's an aspect of you're going to try things here and there. Last night, no Trey Lyles, Sasha Vezenkov, Kessler Edwards makes sense to give some minutes here and there. You want to show Devin Booker, Kevin Durant different looks. So I'm not saying run the exact same guys every single night, but figure out who your backup one is and figure out who your backup five is. And they can be situational, but for the most part, I think this is the time of year where, you know, it shouldn't matter. Like, we got to keep guys engaged. I get that. And I think that's good logic, but this is the time of year. Figure out what your rotation is that you're going to roll into postseason. It's the time of year last year where we saw Alex Len start to get a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, and to that point, Alex Len's back in the rotation right now after we were sitting here, I think a week ago, wondering why did he fall out? What did he do to deserve to fall out of the rotation? There's not really an answer. I think that you're right, though, Brendan. I think finding consistency in the rotation, because in every sport, I think that consistency and getting in a rhythm is important, whether it's baseball, being in the same spot in the lineup, basketball, getting consistent minutes. I mean, you need to have your guys feel comfortable. And right now, we don't really know what we're going to see from the Kings from a rotational standpoint. Sometimes we see Keon Ellis come check in instead of Davion Mitchell. Sometimes we see Kessler Edwards come in instead of Sasha Vezenkov when he was healthy. So it is a matter of, I want to see the Kings kind of have a consistent 1 through 8, which could be tough with some guys like Trey Lyles and Sasha going through what they're going through. But I think that is a very good point as far as the Kings finding that, because again, a lot of teams that you find in the playoff race have that consistency.
Well, and look, here's the other thing. People have talked about the injury luck last season and how the Kings got pretty lucky. Nobody's talking about that because the Kings haven't been playing as consistently, but the Kings have been pretty lucky this year. I mean, they had some things earlier in the season, and now Vezenkov's out and Trey Lyles might miss a game here or there, but you can't really complain, which I think this is not being optimistic anymore, which I think is not the best look, because there's nothing to say, well, we missed De'Aaron for 2 weeks, or we missed Keegan or whoever for 2 weeks. Before we get to a break, just as far as De'Aaron and the curious case of his shoulder, guys, I've said that I'm not speaking on that behind a microphone or anywhere on any of my platforms until somebody says something. How do you think people should, if you're watching De'Aaron grab his shoulder essentially every other game, but nothing is being reported on it, because when we go in to those meetings or even when they're away, nobody is saying anything. Do we just talk about the fact that he's grabbing his shoulder, but nothing is being reported? Because I know fans are really confused about all of that.
I mean, I've asked a couple of people that they say that he's fine. I mean, they say it's the bumps and bruises, and if he was hurt, he'd be listed or he'd be out. Like, they wouldn't be playing with that at this point in the year. And I think a lot of guys kind of deal with things. We see Domantas Sabonis grab a different body part every game. Like, it's very true. He really goes through a lot. A lot of these guys go through a lot of things that we don't always know about or hear about. I think De'Aaron's more under a microscope because he has been struggling. And like, as far as consistency goes, yeah, the Kings are healthy, but last year the Kings were consistently just good. Like, De'Aaron Fox didn't have any cold stretches. Kevin Huerter was pretty good throughout the whole year. He had a rough middle of the season. I guess I would add him. That's not a great example, but Keegan Murray, pretty consistently good knocking down threes. They've had so much inconsistency from different players. They haven't all been just kind of dialed in. And when they are, we know it. We've seen it happen before, like against Denver. When guys are all going in and knocking down shots, the Kings are super hard to beat. And we've seen it only a handful of times this year. So when De'Aaron's struggling, he's under a microscope, and is he dealing with some physical things? They're minor, if anything. But again, I think it's a matter of getting to the All-Star break, having that week to recharge. And I definitely think that is a mindset the Kings are having right now, is get these guys to the All-Star break, have a week to get off your feet and rest mentally and physically, and then recharge for the second half.
All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, Sactown Sports Kings Insiders, we're talking buyout market. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Group is not a law firm. This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Now is your chance to save big on Toyota's entire lineup of 16 hybrid and electrified vehicles. Don't miss out on these President's Day deals. This President's Day, get low 1.99% APR, plus an incredible $2,500 bonus cash on the all-electric 2023 BZ4X. Hurry in. Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS Buys with premium rated credit and 3424.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
We are joined by the Sactown Sports Kings insiders, Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez. Real quick, guys, just wanted to get this news out here. Kansas City, the Kansas City Police, this is from Dia Wall, who is an anchor and reporter for Kansas City, but it's being reported everywhere. 10 shooting victims today at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. Multiple children being treated at Children's Mercy Hospital. Obviously, thinking great thoughts, thinking good thoughts and prayers to all the victims and the victims' families involved. And we will keep you in the loop on how that story develops, but just a sad state of events for what should have been a really happy day and seemed like a happy day to start. This happened towards the end of the parade. So we are hoping that all of those victims pull through. We have, is this our last segment with you guys?
No.
One more.
We have 2 more.
Great.
One more after this.
Yeah.
Great. You know, sometimes we do bonus. Sometimes Frankie's got to go because he's got to watch the Yankees take batting practice.
Hey, it's first day of spring training.
Can we drag them into our prop talk and dog segment or no? Is that too much?
We got to let them go.
Gotta let
them go.
Right.
Frankie, by the way, Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know why he. I don't.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
We just hang out. You want to stay for drive, guys?
We can just do it okay. All right. My bad. I shouldn't be asking.
Where's the line here?
I stepped over. My bad.
Do not ask this stuff on air, Nate. Ask me off air.
You're right.
Jorge Soler. Frankie.
You're a Giants fan,
now
right?
you're doing baseball. Okay.
That's right.
Well, what? Nate, you don't like baseball?
No, I'm just saying Alan is a little bit of a hypocrite.
How so?
Jorge Soler, Frankie, how do you feel about the Giants signing Jorge Soler? Do they need one or two more guys?
Nate will apologize after this.
Do they need one or two more guys?
I'm not getting in the middle of this.
Yeah.
You guys duke it out off the air.
Jorge Soler, do they need one or two more guys? You like the signing?
I actually do like the signing.
Cool.
I do. I mean, they haven't had a guy hit 30 home runs in 20 years.
Crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Watching Barry Bonds is like a 9-year-old. It's like they haven't had anyone since then.
That's right.
Come on, man.
We are on our way.
They've had several guys have 29 though, which is kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Several guys have 29 home runs.
Because Frankie, you're going to be
Allergic
doing
to 30.
some Giants coverage.
Yeah.
For the station as well. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
hopefully it's more exciting than it was last season. And Chris, you said that you wanted to. There were a couple other.
Yes.
I know Frankie. Yeah, there were a couple other YouTube chats that had come through, and just some things that you wanted to kind of break down as well.
Yeah, I want to ask these guys specifically about the one number that I cannot figure out with the Kings, and it's Frankie, you'll know this has been a problem with this Kings organization for years, especially in the bad times. Opponent 3-point percentage. I don't understand. The Kings allow a league high 39.8% to opposing teams from beyond the arc. For reference, the Los Angeles Clippers are first in the NBA at 3-point percentage. They shoot 39.6%. So it's every single night the Kings are essentially going against the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA, regardless of competition. Is that bad luck? Is that bad personnel? Is that bad schematics? What's your read on why the Kings cannot protect the 3-point line?
I think it's a bit of everything. I mean, I think we all know the Kings have. I mean, we've been watching this group play defense for the better part of. I mean, it's almost been 2 years, or I guess 1 full year, I guess. But I think it might be a personnel thing first and foremost. Again, as far as the whole landscape of the Sacramento Kings as a franchise, going back to when we were like in high school,
I swear
it feels like an opposing player has a career high, or a team sets a season high every night. It feels that way, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. But if I were to go back and look year by year about where the Kings are in opponent 3-point field goal percentage, I'd imagine they're 20th or worse in every single one of those years. That's kind of like a system thing. Like, it's deeply rooted in the system, in their DNA. How do you break out of that? Mike Brown has tried different things. I mean, they go to zone sometimes, but it always feels like they're a rotation short, or someone's not where they need to be. And a guy's always just wide open,
open.
Planted like Royce O'Neal, completely wide open, ready to go. And again, a guy that you take away the guys that you think can hurt you the most, and that's great. But you can't discredit the fact that they're all NBA players. We've watched these guys shoot in practice. We watched JaVale McGee.
I was going to say.
Knock down so many threes. I couldn't believe it. Like,
Rashawn Holmes used to.
Yes.
He used to knock them down.
All these guys are capable of just knocking down threes if they're wide open. And if you leave someone wide open, there's a good chance, better than not, they're going to make it. So Brendan might have a better, like, I don't know, maybe not, but it's just a matter of, you think it's personnel? Like, I think it's personnel.
It's a weird one. I mean, it definitely has to do with personnel, right? Like, I think a lot of their defense is all this no middle, and like the perimeter containment being so bad, I think just does cause a lot of rotations. There's a big emphasis on keeping teams out of the paint, limiting sort of their pick and roll defense that was right there with the league worst really last year. But you look at like the open threes that these other teams are taking, and on wide open threes, no defender within 6 feet, the Kings are giving up the about middle of the pack, 18 attempts a game, but teams shoot 42.7%, highest in the league. Nobody shoots better on wide open threes.
So is that bad
and
luck?
That is straight luck.
Yeah.
Wide open threes is straight luck. They're giving up a middle of the pack, right? But they're giving up 42.7%. Like, wide open threes is just straight luck. So there is an aspect here of they're getting a little bit unlucky. You know, you go to last year's numbers on these wide open threes, and it's slightly better as this takes a second to update. 39.7% that they gave up on open threes, but literally worst in the league when it comes to open threes. And that's, you know, that is luck related a little bit, but I think that when you let guys get good looks, you let the wrong guys get good looks, then when they have good ones later, they feel even better. So it's not just all luck. There is a lot of personnel there, but it definitely is factoring in.
Yeah, I just can't figure it out. I mean, I'm blaming personnel. I think that it is an element of, you know, you try and protect everybody tries to protect the paint while also protecting the perimeter. And if you don't have guys who have crazy wingspans, I mean, it's tough to get a hand in the passing lane and then at the same time recover on the outside to defend the perimeter. So I don't know. It's just been a number it's really hard to, you're fighting an uphill battle, essentially. If every single night, it's as if you're going against the best 3-point shooting team in the league. It doesn't matter if it's the Detroit Pistons or if it is the Clippers, they're going to knock them down. So I just don't know what you even do about that.
I'm looking at the last couple of just where the Kings rank in opponent 3-point field goal percentage. Last year, 24th. Year before that, 29th. Year before that, 27th. I'll go back one more just for laughs. Year before that, 25th. One more. Let's see if they can get in the top 15 one more time. Wait a minute. 10th in 2018-19.
Shout out Dave Yeager.
That was Dave Yeager.
39. Yeah.
39 wins?
That was the scores. That was the scores team.
Yeah.
They were here.
Well, and I'll say that part of it, the Kings give up the 5th least amount of shots within 5 feet, you know, and that's without a traditional rim protector. So I think that just goes to like they are trying to limit shots within the paint. Right. And that sometimes is going to mean that a Malik Monk or a Kevin Huerter or De'Aaron Fox is going to have to be that low man and rotate over. And then you're making like a tough cross-court pass that you're just hoping you have long enough to still make a good closeout. And you'd rather a, you know, decent closeout than somebody trying to get a layup at the rim. So I think that they're just more comfortable living with threes from opponents than shots at the rim without like the traditional rim protector on this roster.
Second thing I wanted to bring up is a lot's been talked about all season long, comparing this year's team versus last year's team, whether it be record or 3-point shooting, whatever, but specifically with the record all year, it's been, hey, the Kings are at this point or have this record at this point in the season. I know it feels bad, but this is actually their record at this point last season, and it's a record that's very similar. Even now, you look at the All-Star break last year, the Kings were at the All-Star break 32-25. Right now, they are 30-23. The Kings immediately after the All-Star break played their best basketball. They go 15-5. I'm not counting the month of April where they went 1-4, and that was just a really weird month. Yeah, that was
the playoffs,
a really strange end
Top
of the
3
season.
was locked in.
It was already exactly. That's right. So they go 15-5 the first 20 games outside of the All-Star break. That really separated them and put them, as you say, in that 3-spot firm. What's our confidence level that the Kings can replicate a piece of that? Because the Kings did have a tough strength of schedule. Looking at the opponents that they had to play coming out of the break last year, it was not easy. I mean, you had a Portland team that was still trying to decide which side they were going to fall on. They ended up tanking, and it kind of did start that night. You played the Clippers in the game of the year. In the second game, you play 2 against OKC, then the Clippers again, T-Wolves, Pelicans, Knicks, Suns, Bucks. Like, they played really good teams exiting the break and still played really well. Do we feel that there's a good shot that this team has kind of been building up for this All-Star break, Frankie? I think you said it in the last segment. This week off really is going to be a ramp up to explode outside the gate, yeah?
And they're going to have to. I mean, and we've seen this team do it before. They are streaky. Like, as far as, good and bad, they're streaky. They are going to have more. They're going to have another win streak. They're going to have another one. How long will it be, though? Will it be a 3-game, like, short streak? Or can they do what they did last year and rip off another 6-7 game streak? I think if they can do that again.
They exited the break, Petrov, 5-game win streak.
Yeah, I mean, is it fair to expect that out of the break with the schedule they have? San Antonio, Clippers, Miami, Denver. Minnesota, I'd be very surprised. I'd be very, very surprised. But, I mean, there are going to be pockets in that schedule over this last couple of months that they should be able to put together a streak in a similar fashion, because they're going to have to if they want to finish in a top 6 spot. They can't keep playing this 500, win 3, lose 4, win 2. Like, you have to get ahead of the pack. You have to go ahead and pull away. And if you don't, other teams will. Like, you'll see Phoenix, you kind of have them in a situation where they have the hardest remaining schedule in the NBA. Can you take advantage of that? Can you catch them? I'm looking at the April 12th game. That's a big game, depending on where the things are in the standings. The Kings and Suns, when they play again, are going to be playing for, that's a tiebreaker. They're both at 2-2 because of that extra game in the in-season tournament. So I do think the Kings are capable of putting together a good stretch of play, but they got to look a little different than they do now. This inconsistent effort from the group that we're seeing, you can't take that into the final stretch, and you sure can't take that into a playoff series. You just can't.
All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, one more segment with our guys, Brendan Nunes, Frankie Cardicelli, as we discuss the buyout market and the future of the Kings. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
One more segment with our guys, Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunes, Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Brendan, it's time.
Is it?
We know, okay, look, we know the list is fluid, but let us know right here, right now. Let us know right here, right now, who the buyout market is, and we will discuss what it's looking like.
Yeah, it seems like some of these guys may end up staying on the teams they got moved to, but there's a lot of smoke on if they could or not go into this buyout market. But, I mean, we have to start with the highlight Marcus Morris, right?
That's
Your
right.
boy.
That's right. Look, guys, this is where this was always going to go. And no, did I have any sources on this? No, not really, but we see it now. You see the vision now, Frankie. Don't look at me like that.
What's the deal with this? When are you going to let it go?
I'm not like.
So is this the same thing with Chris and the Lopez? Because Chris, I literally was so happy when that notification popped up that the Kings got a Lopez twin.
No comment.
Only for him to be bought out because Chris's dream has been for the Kings to get a Lopez.
All I've ever wanted.
Is it your dream to have a Morris twin play?
We just need a dog.
Okay.
We just need a dog. All right, Marcus Morris, but you think he did eye emoji somewhere?
I thought he did. I can go look for his Twitter, but he did post something at one point. I think it was about maybe not the Mavericks. He got traded for the Mavericks. I'll find it.
The Mavericks are just grabbing everyone that they can, huh?
Apparently. There are 4 guys. So Davis Bertans and Evan Fournier have played for their new teams, but there is speculation on if they could get bought out. It would make sense. Bertans with Charlotte and Fournier with the Pistons, teams that, it could make sense to buy those guys out. So if you throw them, Marcus Morris and Joe Harris into this grouping, all of those players were making above the mid-level exception prior to their buyout or potential buyout. Mm-hmm. And that leaves them ineligible to sign with any team above the first tax apron. So that's the Clippers, the Suns, the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Heat, the Bucks, and the Celtics. So you look at those 4 guys, because where Sacramento's going to struggle in the buyout market is a player has all the control here. Mm-hmm. Where do I want to go?
Yep.
And those 4 players are going to have a much more limited market out there. So like a guy like, Joe Harris and even Evan Fournier a little bit do kind of interest me.
Come on.
Like we're talking about, so Kings have a full roster right now after signing Keon Ellis, converting him to the standard deal, and Mason Jones, who sounds like he might be available for the first time for Sacramento tonight, by the way, going to that 2-way.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll see what that means.
Probably start.
Who's the guy if you were to add somebody? So there's those 4 players, right? Just to go down the list a little. Gallinari, Killian Hayes, Corey Joseph, Furkan Korkmaz, Thad Young just signed somewhere, I believe. Mm-hmm. Robin Lopez, Victor Oladipo, James Bouknight, Daniel House, Chimezie Metu reunion. So we're talking about these sort of guys. To me, if you were going to bring somebody in, I think the one on the outside looking in that you'd have to waive would probably be Kessler.
Yeah.
I think it's Kessler Edwards. And
could it be Duarte?
It could
JaVale's on a minimum deal, and if Len's playing center again,
they're not moving JaVale.
Not move. They'll be waving.
They're not waving JaVale.
Could, but I'd be surprised.
No way.
I'm just talking about from a contract standpoint. He's on a minimum deal.
They take a picture of him almost every social media.
It's been him and the Apple.
Yes.
The Apple Vision. Yeah.
Like, is this team better with Joe Harris and Kessler Edwards? Does it make any?
I think so.
Difference. I think Joe Harris is better.
No.
Than Kessler Edwards?
Yeah. I mean, I just think Joe Harris is. I mean, he has not been the Joe Harris that I think we think of Joe Harris.
Right. He's gravity, though.
About 5 or 6
years. Though.
I don't think he is anymore. I really don't. I think Davis Bertans is the name to me. That's the most exciting one to me. You're talking about a 3, really a 4 that can come in and. I mean, I remember him in Washington. He can light it up.
Yeah,
like he is obviously a huge defensive liability, but I mean, if Sasha is going to be out the rest of this year, I really think that's like the closest you're going to get. And you're getting some size. He's a dude who's been on some playoff teams. That's probably the name I would look at. Looking at his career 3-point percentage, 39% from 3 on 4.5 attempts. Like that's a guy that I think could impact things.
He got paid and then kind of just got sent to the bench, right?
Yeah, he got paid big
and then just kind of like you're good, you're done.
I'm trying to find his contract. Yeah, he got paid by Washington. He signed what was it? It was a 3-year deal for about $16 million.
Woo! Wild.
That's
insane.
That's a good amount of cash.
Yeah, it's insane.
I do kind of like Daniel House.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely interesting to me. 6'6", you know, he's a little older than you think, 30 years old, has played for a couple different teams. He almost makes me think of like kind of a discount Royce O'Neal, you know?
And discount Royce O'Neal.
I don't think, which, you know, is saying something.
That's a crazy statement.
It is.
But that's where we're at now.
That's what you're talking about in the buyout market.
Yes, exactly.
You know? But he's one of those guys where I'm like, I don't think I'd pick Sacramento if I was him. Unless there's some promise of playing time. That's Sacramento's only advantage here in these talks.
Before we even take this buyout conversation any further, can we think of, off the top of our heads, a team who made a deep playoff run that you can remember? Man, when they got blank off the buyout market, that really turned their season around. Or not turned their season around, but that really elevated them. Because we do this every season, and it's not just Kings fans.
I mean, mainly it's with really good teams. That's the problem. It's like buyout market is almost exclusively for the top 3 teams in the NBA.
I don't have it in front of me, but I would bet money that the 2020 Lakers had someone they brought in from a buyout, and he played. I don't know who or what. I can go look it up, I guess. But
Anderson Varejao for the Warriors.
Yeah, didn't he get bought out? They lost to the Cavs. Though,
yeah, he was going to get a ring either way.
He played the lifelong deal with the Cavs. Gets bought out, goes to the Warriors, plays the Cavs, loses. That's pretty funny.
So some notable ones from last year: Kevin Love gets bought out from the Cavs and goes to Miami.
Yep, that was big.
Russell Westbrook gets bought out with the Lakers and goes to the Clippers. Pat Bev, don't remember where he got bought out from, but ends up going to the Bulls.
Was it the Timberwolves?
That's different.
I think so.
Or traded, then bought out from every team. The Timberwolves traded him. He's been traded.
He's a brand now. That's different.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
He's a brand.
He's
not a normal buyout guy.
But a brand? What do you mean?
He's not a normal buyout guy.
God.
Russell Westbrook, Pat Bev, these aren't normal buyout guys. You know what I mean.
But they're buyout guys.
Literally no idea what you mean.
They're specific situations.
You're asking what buyout guys have impacted deep runs, and Brendan is telling you.
Right, but
there's no huge standouts here, though, really.
But they still didn't. Well, yeah, because Pat Bev.
Like a PJ Dozier, like a guy that is lesser known than
and Westbrook, they didn't really do. It's more showing itself this season than last season, Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back a couple of years now. I'm on 2021, and there's like, you go back 2021. Blake Griffin went to the Nets. LaMarcus Aldridge went to the Nets. Andre Drummond to the Lakers. You know, Jeff T goes to the Bucks. Ben McLemore goes to the Lakers. Like, typically, these are buyout years.
It's funny how it's always the Lakers.
J.R. Smith, Lakers, buyout, went to the Lakers 2020.
J.R. Smith. Professional golfer.
He is a professional golfer. He is a professional collegiate golfer. He's getting the NIL
so
money.
Basically what we're saying is that this buyout conversation, we can save our breath.
Yeah.
No one's going to walk through that door that is going to quote unquote save or alter the future of the 2023-24 Sacramento Kings. I'm happy to be wrong about that. I just don't think anyone's going to come in, Marcus Morris included.
I was going to say
that is going to save
a little bit different of a
anything. It's going to be the guys that are on the roster. You need more from the guys who are underperforming. De'Aaron Fox underperforming right now. Keegan Murray underperforming right now. Other guys that need to step up, like Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, consistency, find it again. Domantas Sabonis is doing historic things every night. You can't keep wasting them. Like last night, I couldn't help but feel like I couldn't help but go back to those DeMarcus Cousins days where we're watching him do his historic things every night. And they're in losses. Because like last night, the fact that we couldn't take and pick apart what Sabonis did because of how historic and great it was, because the narrative around it's going to be, well, it's in a loss. It doesn't matter. That's disappointing. It's the buyout market's fine. It's fun. The guys in the locker room, the guys on this team are going to be what determines, where they are right now. There's no one else that's going to come in and make that much of a difference. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Before we get you guys out of here, I want to ask you, looking at the injury report for tonight, Jamal Murray with his tibia is questionable, as is KCP. I believe both of them missed the last time these two teams played. They're questionable, but I guess there was Michael Malone went on Denver radio yesterday and said he would be surprised if either of those two played today. Oh. Does that make you feel better or worse about the Kings' chances of winning the basketball game today?
Did Jamal play on Friday? Did he play? I
can't remember.
KCP didn't play.
KCP didn't
Michael
play.
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. That's who it was.
I think it doesn't matter. I think when you look at Denver, They are where they are. I mean, they have guys to get it done. If I'm not mistaken, Reggie Jackson had a pretty good game a couple months ago when they played in Sacramento. They have a guy named Nikola Jokic who could probably win a game on his own. They have what it takes. They have the depth to beat the Kings. We've seen the Kings lose to a lot worse. We've seen them lose to a lot worse. So definitely not a game you can look at lightly. I think this is a game if the Kings can take it and go into the break, you feel really, really good about where they are. Just having that kind of cushion, having that kind of game to build off of. I think that this is going to be a test no matter who's on the floor for Denver.
Yeah, I mean, obviously having more guys out there I think is going to help Denver. Like having KCP on De'Aaron Fox instead of Peyton Watson, I think is a pretty big difference, even if I think like Peyton Watson has been pretty solid for them. So I think having those guys will definitely help. I think Denver is going to have a little bit of energy tonight too. You know, that they probably want some get back after what the Kings did to them earlier in this season. And now the Kings are on the second night of a back-to-back. Tables are kind of turned here in home for Denver. So super big game. And I will say that, you know, I think a lot of people have been pointing out the difficult strength of schedule for the Kings. The opposite side of it, you win some of these games, you're going to feel pretty good.
Right.
So I think they could feel pretty good going into the All-Star break if they can scrap this one out. And it's not going to be an easy battle, obviously, but I think they could pull it off.
Quick note, to feel a little better about it. I know it's a while ago, but the person that wanted us to say, what can we say to make them feel better? The Denver Nuggets, their worst 3-point defense this year has been against Sacramento Kings. The Kings have shot 48% against Denver. And that's the Kings' also highest 3-point shooting mark against any opponent this year. So
you hear that, Keegan?
48%.
Put them up. Thank you to Brandon Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli. Go check them out, SactownSports.com. Also check them out on their socials. We will talk to you again next week, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Got to get to a break. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale, and that focus on quality continues today with brands like Flex Steel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Whether you prefer thrills or serenity, the 2024 Accord from Elk Grove Honda delivers both. With Honda Sensing Standard, the 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in car and driver award history. Drive a 2024 Accord Hybrid and see for yourself what the fuss is all about. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now, I took the half-hour drive to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and I came home with the finest car I've ever owned. I'm rocking that brand new EQS SUV they outfitted me with, and it's stylish and so comfortable. I love Mercedes cars. Also, Mercedes builds amazing commercial vehicles. Now, if you own a business, Mercedes builds commercial vans capable of any job. And with special interest rates as low as 4.9% on new Sprinter vans, plus the available tax breaks on Sprinter vans for commercial use, choosing a Mercedes van is a smart move. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a huge full-service commercial fleet center. Go see my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just a half-hour drive down I-5 from Sac, and it's online all the time at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Thank you to the Kings Insiders. Brandon Nunes, Frankie Cardicelli. Go check out all of their outstanding content on SactownSports.com. Also on their personal socials. They are at the practices. They are at the games. They are at all of the media availability to keep you in the know on what's going on with Sacramento Kings.
And Stockton. Me and Brendan went to a Stockton game the other day, man.
This man, Chris, gets back from Vegas and went straight to a Stockton game.
I did.
And he's texting me. I'm thinking, dude, because we had a little issue with our bags.
Only a 30-minute drive.
A little
30-minute drive to Stockton. And I'm texting Chris and I'm, saying, hey, man, I'm just going to wait, grab our bags, whatever it is. Ended up being a longer wait than I anticipated. And Chris says I'm on my way to Stockton to check out the Kings, just grind and film.
Yeah,
just grind and tape.
It's a great time.
Yeah,
I would heavily recommend.
What's up with this kid Slauson? It looks like he's pretty nice. What's going on there?
He's a big hustle guy for sure. He's still developing down in the G League for sure. G League will do him wonders. He's a little rough around the edges. He needs some molding for sure. He's got an attitude to him, and I think that's something that we've seen this Kings team could probably use a little bit of edge. And we've seen it even when he's been called up in practices. Like he'll talk trash to dudes on the sideline, or he's at the free throw line and Malik's chirping at him from the side. He'll turn around and say, "Watch this." So he's got a little moxie to him, and I think that can take him a long way, because I think that's kind of his niche in the NBA. If he's going to be an NBA player, it's probably going to be like I kind of told Brendan this. What was the example I said? I said, like, what did he say about Royce O'Neal? He said it was essentially I said he's a poor man's James Johnson.
Yes.
Is like what his role would be. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
Like James Johnson's kind of the role where it's a physical presence. He's not going to wow you with any of his skills, but it's going to be all the dirty work, all the defensive grit, intensity. That kind of stuff is how he's going to impact the game.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you talk about the health, and the Suns lose Bradley Beal again last night, but Chimezie Metu, he was a guy who was getting real minutes.
Yeah.
Real minutes for the Suns. One of the times that the Kings have played the Suns, which they still play the Suns one more time.
Unfortunately.
By the way. But yeah, I mean, life comes at you fast, and I think it was great to kind of end our time with the Kings Insiders, just reading off all of the buyouts in the past. And, yes, there are some brand names that these situations were a little bit different with Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook. But for the most part, these aren't guys that are going to, be a savior in any type of way.
I mean, there's a reason they're getting bought out.
Yeah. Kevin Love was a surprising one, though.
No, for sure. And I think that had more to do with he wanted to go to I think it was a mental health thing as well, but I think he wanted just kind of a change of scenery and to go to a situation where Kevin kind of felt like he wanted to win a title.
He was in Cleveland for a long time.
Yeah, he was there.
I remember firing it up when they're playing whoever, just thinking, oh, he's still there.
I mean, Kevin Love got traded for Andrew Wiggins his rookie year.
Yeah.
That's how long he has been in Cleveland for. He's seen it all there. So, it was time for a change for sure.
All right, prop talk. Let's get it going. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now. I'm doubling down. Okay. Keegan took 2 threes yesterday.
Thought you were going Kevin Herter there.
Wait, let's recap yesterday. Recap yesterday.
It's not great.
Alan Stiles took a book out of took a page out of Nate's book and went all or nothing. Sabonis 3-point field goal attempt. Or I'm sorry, 3-point field goals made.
Yeah.
He took one early. It was wide open, and I was like, this is it. It's either this or it's not happening. He bricked it. Unfortunately,
no way you're taking another one.
He was not going to take another one. He finishes with 0 threes. I had Malik Monk over 17.5. He definitely got over that. Now has had 20-plus points in 6 of his last 7 games. Nate barely missed out. He took the over Kevin Durant, 29.5 points. KD finished off with 28. So just barely missed out. Just barely, Nate.
So you're the only one.
I'm the only one.
Is
no
there
wonder why I
no
wanted
one?
to recap.
Yeah, exactly. You just snuck that in there. Nobody asked for a recap.
Well.
Another crazy night for Malik Monk where he scored, 22 points?
Yeah.
And went 0 for 5 from 3.
Right.
How does that happen?
How many times did he get to the line?
Not many. If he'd gone to the line, he made 9 shots, so he went to the line 4 times, or he made 4 free throws. I think is that right? I think I'm doing quick math there. I don't have the box score.
Well, I am Malik Monk related when it comes to prop talk. So should I just get into it?
Get into
Absolutely.
I'm thinking Malik Monk. I'm seeing 21.5 points, rebounds combined, and I'm smashing the under on that. I'm going for a little bit of regression tonight. It's not a shot against Malik or anything like that. That's just what I'm feeling. I'm feeling Malik 21.5 points, rebounds combined. Take the under. That's what I would.
Said 21.5.
Yeah, I thought. I didn't think he would do what he did last night. If you want to double down, go ahead, double down. I am going to go with Keegan Murray, 1.5 threes. There's just you just have to take shots. There's no way that happens.
I bet he gets a nice talking to from Mike Brown because he's done that before. I mean, last year he was getting on his case about not shooting enough.
This year.
You know, it's really funny. Earlier you talked about how he was doing the pump fake and driving to the basket. Yeah. He lectured Trey Lyles on that.
Yeah, he did.
There was a big thing about telling Trey Lyles, like, hey, the tape, when we would watch you play when you were in Denver, the tape on you said, this guy's going to pump fake you and drive. So he's kind of gone through this rigmarole with Trey Lyles before.
Right. Yeah. I just can't see. I can't see Keegan only taking 2 threes tonight.
Well, it's make, isn't it?
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Gotcha. He took 2
He
last
only took
night.
2. And it was one was in transition. It was a brick and a half.
It was really bad. And I think the other one was at the end of the game, and it was not close either.
Yeah. It could be completely wrong. He could still be in the middle of his cold streak.
Sure.
But, as
1.5
Frank,
low. That's as low as it's ever going to get.
That's not going to get lower than that.
It's a value proposition.
Yeah. And Frankie, as he so beautifully said, that the shooting percentages, the 3-point shooting percentages against the Kings, the Nuggets have struggled. It's pretty high. So I'm rocking and rolling with Keegan.
I am going to go with I'm going to try and logic this out, which probably means it's not going to work, but I'm going to go under De'Aaron Fox rebounds. It's set at 3.5. Last night he had 9. And I just feel like that's tipping the scales too far in one direction. For rebounds. 3.5 is what it's set at. The games before last night, De'Aaron had 4 against Cleveland. He had 3 against Detroit. He had 2 against Denver last time. He had 1 against OKC. And then, last night had 9. So I feel like that 9 is doing a lot of pushing.
So it's set at 3.5?
Set at 3.5. So I got to go De'Aaron 3 or less rebounds. I'm going to go
I like
under
that.
on
We're all kind of negative today. I mean, you're not really, Alan, but
yeah.
I think we all have a similar mindset, really.
Yeah, well,
and
I'm
I
definitely
kind of
not-
hope we're wrong. Not you, obviously.
Well, I got to stay away from De'Aaron because whenever I pick him,
Right.
Yesterday, how many threes did he have? 7 or something like that.
He made 5. I think he was 5 of 12 from 3 yesterday.
I would probably say.
Which one do we like the most out of these three?
I like Allen's a lot. I think
yours,
Allen's
yeah.
would be my lock if I had to pick one.
Okay.
Lock it in, Keegan.
Let's lock in Allen's.
1.5.
All right, we're locking in.
1.5 threes. There
Okay.
you go. All right. Dog segment. Let's get it.
Real quick. Okay. Well, anytime Sabonis is going against, Jokic, I gotta look at that matchup.
You do this every
I
time.
do, but it worked. I'm gonna toot my own horn. Forget it. We're just gonna blow over the fact that I quite literally said Domantas Sabonis was gonna get a 20, 15, and 10 triple-double. I called it. Where's the audio? Where's the cut?
Cut it.
I'm just saying.
Cutty.
Sabonis this season against Denver has averaged 17 points, 16 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 51% from the field, 50% from 3. I'm going Sabonis.
Yep. That's a great call.
Come on.
I'm going to ride with my pick from Prop Talk. I'm going to go with Keegan Murray. He has a bounce-back game because I was pretty hard on Keegan today.
You picked Keegan yesterday.
I'm doubling down.
Yeah, double dip. Double down.
dip.
I'm
Nate
going
went
with
Trey Lyles yesterday, who got a DNP.
unbelievable. Unbelievable, by the way.
That's negative points. by
That's
the way.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's all right. Whatever. We got to get to break. But my dog is going to be Mr. Suit and Tie Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
That's plain and simple.
All right.
Love it.
Harrison's been quiet lately. He can get back going and get these shots going, if you will, because he has not been putting up as many shots as he has in the past. All right, get into a break. When we get back, crossover with the Drive Guys, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-952-1155. That's 800-952-1155.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Month finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price 24 months with zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year. 20 cents a mile. Reserve security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility,
We own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payments with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
As promised, it is time. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports for your chance to see Daniel Tosh at Hard Rock Live April 12th. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Hotline, Honda Hotline right now, looking for caller number. Whitey, give us a number.
Number 7.
Lucky number 7 to score that pair of tickets. Check out Daniel Tosh. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Looking for caller number 7, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. Did you watch Tosh.0 back in the day? It's your chance, thanks to Live Nation.
Brendan and
caller,
Frankie, what you think? You think they watched Tosh.0?
Definitely Frankie.
I think Frankie did.
Yeah,
I can see Brendan being like I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, exactly,
You know?
exactly. Brendan was laying down beats. He didn't have time he didn't have time to get that going. 916-339-1140, looking for caller number 7. It's your chance to see Daniel Tosh, as Nate will take care of that. Thank you, Nate. Whitey Gleason joins us from the Drive Guys. Whitey, LeBron James to the Warriors. What could have been, huh?
Who do you think leaked that? How do you think it is that
And
we know that?
why did it leak as the Warriors are now playing well?
It had to be either LeBron or the Lakers.
Why?
Because if it's LeBron, it's like, see, I want to stay here and other teams want me, and I'm not going to go do what KD did. And if it's the Lakers, it's like, see, other teams wanted him, but he wanted to stay here. The Warriors have no reason to leak it.
It's a good point.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah.
And then there's the Daryl Morey factor too. I don't know if you saw that apparently Daryl Morey called on all the Phoenix guys, all 3 of them, Beal, KD, and Booker, but also I guess after LeBron tweeted out his eyeball emojis, or the I think it was an hourglass emoji.
Yeah.
I guess Daryl called in to the Lakers for that as well.
Wow.
I don't know what it does feel like those are probably coming from LeBron. Yeah.
It makes the most sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you feel too? We were talking about, Bronny and how he might impact all of this. Like that ship has sailed, right? Like we don't have to spend time on Bronny James. The Warriors might draft Bronny James and try and get him recruited.
My understanding is, you guys may know better than I, but I believe he doesn't have to make a decision on his option until after the draft.
LeBron, you're talking
about.
Yeah. Correct.
So that's definitely going to be a thing.
I don't know.
I really
stand it.
I
really hope that Bronny doesn't feel forced to come out in the draft, because I haven't watched a ton of his games, but I don't know that he is.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like he's ready.
Yeah. I hope on some level his dad does have Bronny's best interest at heart. His dad should know, you're not ready. So,
or the argument is, it's not really going to make a difference anyway, so you might as well come out now.
Yeah, guys are drafted when they're so young. It's like, maybe he's not ready, but he's going to be ready, and you want to get him now. I don't know.
Yeah, he in 2024, Bronny has played 16 games. He is averaging 20 minutes, and he's averaging 5.8 points, 2.6 assists, and 3 rebounds on 20 minutes.
Is he better than Killian Hayes right now?
Ooh. Well, according to LeBron, his kid is a lot better than a lot of the fools running around in the NBA.
Did Killian get picked up?
Be one of them.
I don't believe so.
No, he did not.
Man. See, that's why.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no, you sound really broken up about Killian Hayes not, nobody picking up a 35% shooter.
I mean, I don't know if he got a fair shake,
He did it. He's terrible.
Yeah. Him and James Bouknight, it's just like, how do you just
James Bouknight? That's another one.
It definitely is another one. That's for sure.
But this is what I'm saying though. This is why it's hard for me to, I guess, get on the Kings about Davion too bad. I just feel like there's a lot of misses that happen in the draft.
Oh yeah.
So Davion being a ninth.
But what does it have to do with Davion? I don't know
because Davion is at least an NBA player.
I know, but how does his name even come into this conversation about Killian Hayes?
Because Killian Hayes is done. He got released, and he was the number 7 pick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it doesn't really feel like as much of a
miss?
whiff. Yeah,
it's not a whiff. And he's playing. But some of those, you're right. I mean, there are some. Yeah, that's
and
fun
how
to go
was
over any
Bouknight?
draft, and then you find the guys
right after. Bouknight was right after.
Well, there you go. Right.
Yeah. Whitey, I'm curious. Nate gave us a breakdown of how he's going to spend his Valentine's Day. Nate's a great boyfriend, by the way. If you haven't heard it, definitely go back and hear.
We
what
don't
Nate,
have time.
Do you have any advice out there for us young pups who are young in this love game? Like, is there? You got just.
I'll just tell you this. This is going to be kind of a quiet Valentine's Day, but the celebration actually will be this weekend when we travel to Point Reyes.
Wow.
For a weekend, President's Day weekend getaway, which my wife arranged.
There you go. There you go. You have the Drive Guys up next. Not only are they getting you ready for the Nuggets game, also some more life advice and love advice from Whitey Gleason. There you go. Stiles and Watkins, thank you to Frankie Cardicelli, Brandon Nunez, Nate Littlefield. Stiles and Watkins, hopefully the Kings tonight in Denver can secure the bag, light the beam.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com